turn camera off.
What are you doing?
Are we live?
I'm gonna find out.
I don't think we are.
Well, I'm not. If you aren't live, tell me this.
Can you see me? I'm ruining
You
the
are
intro,
live.
but
You
I'll
are
take that.
live,
Alright,
Albert.
I'm
You
gonna shut
are
up
live.
now. That was confusing. The PS5 one's a little different that way. Alright, welcome everyone. I'm gonna be quiet now. I'll never not love this. Never get away from me now. Oh. This is, I had to show you. You saw that, right? 10 inches. Probably less than 10 inches from my back. Nice. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Alright. Let us bring up my face. Hello, everyone. Hello, hello. And welcome. After all of this time. It took way too long to have a camera that actually works for Share Factory, because for some reason the PS5 Share Factory is like, yeah, you know that camera that worked on the PS4 version? It doesn't work anymore. You need to buy a new camera. And I'm like... But anyways, we're here, we're alive, we're here, we're live, and we got Tam King in the chat, and also, of course, the Jazich is always chilling in the background. I'm gonna bring chat up. Yes, what he said. I'm gonna bring chat up real quick, so we can see what everything's going on here. Make sure it looks good.
Oh.
Good. Okay.
Why is it?
Why is what?
It good.
Because we are finally live. But we're going to give a few minutes for everyone to try to join up, because this is a pretty big vlog and live stream we're doing today. I'm going to go ahead and move stuff around so I can actually see
Oh,
what we're doing.
no.
Normally,
Yeah, play War Thunder.
Why blame? Don't play that game. No, I'm kidding.
I need my striker out, though. I want
Do
my striker.
you? Uh-oh, I hit the wrong button, chat.
Do I have my striker? No. Yeah, no, I need my striker.
There we go.
I have to
Sorry
swing
about that,
fire.
chat. Actually, you know what I'm gonna do, chat? I'm gonna bring you up on my PC, but I've got to mute the video, because I need room on my tray for what we're gonna be doing today in the stream to show off one of the Halloween event stuff. So we're probably gonna do that first, since it's the
It's a dick in a
smallest.
box.
It's the smallest. That was a good time. It's the smallest. What do you call it? Thing we got to show off today.
It's the smallest dick in the
It's the
box you've
smallest
ever
thing
seen.
one you've ever seen, and I keep hitting the wrong bloody button. There we go.
I do like my tank
Technical
controls. This is the
difficulties.
best tank controls I've ever set up. Nothing can beat this.
Nothing can beat it.
Oh,
I totally believe you.
oh, it's the teammate shot at me. The fucking dick.
Does that really surprise you?
Yes, it did actually, because I thought an enemy shot at me because I was looking everywhere. What the hell did he just? Oh, he shot an M18 Wolfpack. That blow up like a rocket. BMP, fuck off, you shit. Go in the water where you belong. Move, you fucking knobhead. God, man, the Russians.
Hey, don't you talk about Fossier's tanks like that. They're not that bad.
Apparently I shot someone's track and radiator. Nice.
I hit the wrong button. Chat, I'm a dupe.
Is that a tank?
Here we go.
We're gonna find out.
Where there's no echo
That's
in
a
the
tank.
background. And I can see chat, and I can turn my phone off because I need to move it, because I need room. There we go. Okay. Already did that, so let's close this out. This would give time for everyone to join up while I'm prepping everything.
Well, I just killed an enemy in their spawn.
Nice. That's kind of terrible, but that's nice. How dare you? Why would you do that?
Because he deserved it.
Yes. That's Julie. Yeah, there's actually 4 people. You know, Legion's not one person, it's 4 people. It's Frank, Julie, Susie, and Joey.
Fuck Joey.
And each one is slightly different.
He's a prick. Fuck Joey, you prick.
But, I got it. See, I don't even have... Wait, you have a Julie? I don't even have Julie, I don't think. I'll have to go look
I have
at
Julie.
You do not.
I have Julie.
I do wonder... well, then I should have... Wait, then I should have Julie then, because I bought the pack for Legion.
No, you don't have Julie on there.
But if you wonder what this is on my tray, chat, this is part of the Halloween thing we're going to show off. I'm just giving everyone a chance to join up. Just going to try to make it today. We got a lot to talk about.
No, we don't.
Stuff for the channel, future events, things that I want to talk about with me. Yo, Farseer, what's up? Welcome, welcome.
I wonder when she turned up.
But,
God, that scared the
oh my
shit out of me.
She's like crazy. It's been hot in here lately, so it's making me itch more. Darius is happy right now. I heard he has a jet. It's like free jet, or not free. That's not what I'm wanted to say. So yeah,
Freedom!
good jet. Freedom! Just turns into William Wallace.
I have a jet, freedom!
Oh man. This is going to be a crazy one, because it's going to be, like I said, we're going to be all over the place today. He shot down a Phantom in a Mach 1, in Mach 1 speed. Nice! That is pretty impressive. That is good job on him. Good jobs. Good. I don't play AA enough to really do stuff like that, or have a jet to even do stuff against other jets yet.
Yeah, but hold on now, I want to find out, he keeps saying this. Tell me, Arthur, what's the most game you played this week? How many times have you played
War Thunder.
War Thunder?
It's totally War Thunder. It has nothing to do with being stabbed.
Yeah, it's not like that preview we saw earlier.
Yeah, it wasn't that game during the intro at all.
You really need to stop playing more War Thunder. I need to stop playing more Dead by Daylight. That is agreed.
Man. To be fair, you'll see why I added that in the beginning of this particular version of the vlog coming back. It has to do with our Halloween special. That's why I showed off one of my more hilarious moments when Nick Cage was running from my ghost face during a match. Dude tried so hard to blind me. I just pulled a 180 as you saw and went, hi, stab. Also, we need to renegotiate the Battle of Crazy Dudes. No. He needs to get an Apache or a Viper is what he needs to do.
Because I'm about to go, fuck it, I'm about to pull my chieftain and just kill him. I'm about to be bored.
If you were going chieftain, it might have to be a jet at that point, or something a much larger
can you
chopper.
answer me this question? What kind of car does Darius have? Don't tell me obviously his license plate and everything. I totally won't look that up. But just tell me the model of the car, and if you can, the year. Because the year will determine it. If it's an older car, It might be more expensive, but
plus license and registration. No, I'm just kidding.
Me as a cop, I would love that. I was going fast. Shut the
This
fuck
way
up,
I could just show up and be like, Darius, why do you have this car? You need to get either a new car or fix this bloody thing.
Oof, I've got gas.
Yes.
But I need a beer. That's what I need.
Because that's going to help. Also, we need, I already read that, a Honda 2011. See, this is why he's breaking down. No, I was kidding.
When you realise that I have a more modern car than Darius does, and mine's cheaper than his.
I mean, it's not about that. It's just,
Yes,
sometimes Hondas are good, but not the 2011.
I mean, they're decent Hondas at 2011.
2000 and I'll give me a 2009 to 2005 or 2012 and up.
Do you know what I'm really sad they don't add a new Need for Speed?
What's that?
The newer Honda Civics.
Let's see. If it works, don't get rid of it. I mean, that's true. I mean, I'll at least buy by that because of the way I treat my van, even though it's
Speaking of,
testing my
what year
patience.
is your van, Ardmot? Speaking
Old.
of boring older vehicles.
Old. We're gonna say old.
How old is old?
Mm.
We're talking 1900s, 1800s?
I don't think it was. I'm pretty sure it wouldn't have an engine if it was that old. And so I'm
well,
gonna
you did say old.
This one is. Hold on, I don't want to get it confused with my last one. This one's in '89. So, but it's made out of actual metal. But the problem is the parts are getting too old. So unless I strip her out and completely, like, literally turn her into basically a different vehicle on the inside, which is expensive, I may have to get a different van to do my plan with.
Do you know when you know that moment when it's taken 3 shots from a rampant campus like in 90 to kill you?
That's what it feels like my van's been through, but it's finally dying.
Ah, fuck it.
Also, new update news. We can shoot, then detonate the bombs on planes. Good. And we can MG detonate the smoke grenades on the
That's what I
outside
was
of the
trying to
enemy
tell
tank.
you, I thought.
Yeah, but the way he explained it, James made that sound like, see, that's how you're supposed to word that. James, the way he made it sound, he said, we can now he's like, we can now have, detonatable smoke grenade machine guns, and I'm like,
No, I said you can now shoot the smoke grenades in the holsters.
that is not what you said.
That's what I said.
I need to record your zeechiness. You would love how you sound sometimes.
No, I was
perfectly
normal. I would understand this logic.
But the way he said it sounded like the machine guns were shooting smoke grenades. I'm like, this sounds really broke and kind of weird.
You know when that moment when your tank survives a direct shot from a rocket?
I mean, good. I mean,
No!
I would say take that as an awesome thing and run away. Also, we should allow James it corrected it! Oh, man. Yes, I agree. We should allow him the Crusade Marksman. Welcome to the Holy Sniper.
See,
That
even
just sounds like a
mutants.
comic book. That just sounded like a comic book character. That sounds like something Marvel would make, like some sort of holy sniper. He's when he's aiming at like vampires, demons, and zombies, and all kinds of things, and ghosts and
No,
things
that's
like
what they call Jesus when he's had
more
enough
powerful.
of dying.
He's like,
No, they
frick
call
it.
Jesus that. Yeah, they call Jesus that when they finish
You
when
just
they're
hear him.
sick
He's
of
like,
dying.
what he's had enough. You just hear him take out a shotgun and go. Then you start hearing.
Well, they do have holy grenades.
It's like, oh crap! It's like he's gone, Doom guy.
My show, Shattered.
I mean, if we allow him that then Tam King's gonna die in a chopper, guaranteed. It's not as entertaining if the chopper is easily killed. Because Darius figured out how to auto lock his laser, meaning he can move all over the place, and ATGM is still locked on James.
Yes,
that's
but yes,
something.
somehow. So I wonder.
I have noticed that's a thing. I just haven't figured out how I did it.
Can I just say one thing? He figured out how to do that. Yet he didn't go the Apache. He went Jet.
I still think. Not the one in the tech trees. You can only test fly the premium ones. I mean, test flying a premium chopper will let you get the feel how to play it if you don't already have one. It works like radar. Because I noticed I did it by accident with my Little Bird German. I noticed during the last PvE we did, just that little bitty one. So he does have one. Okay. I still think he's still going to be less of a challenge to James than a Jet,
Oh,
though.
God, poor Leopard.
Just because the Jet's going to be way, 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 way too powerful. Now, if you want me to let James have the Chieftain Marksman against a chopper,
I've just killed a Leopard 10A5 with a Marksman.
But I just feel like all the difference is going to be range. Maybe rate of fire. But
okay, there's things
because the Jet's going to have fire and forget ground missiles, most likely, like most Jets do. So that's worse than locking a laser and having the strafe without dying. Because you got to understand, even if he locks on that rocket and fires it, if James kills him before the rocket hits him, Darius still loses.
Bear in mind the Chieftain Marksman has laser rangefinder.
Ooh, that's scary.
And smoke grenades as tactical.
Oh, okay.
That's fine.
That's fine, Tam King.
Yeah, it's terrifying because as soon as he locks onto me, if I spot him, yeah, I can lock onto him and he's dead.
Yeah, but like I said, I don't think him practicing with the Gepard is going to make much difference. Because here's the rule. Most of the time when you're going against a Gepard, you're going to have to try to stay out of its range. And even if he's strafing it, the AI is not going to be as good at hitting a moving target as an actual player like James would be. Unlike the opposite Dead by Daylight, where the AI is broke to a certain extent. But like I said, I still think, even then, it's like, I just feel like James is going to hit him better, because I don't see a lot of good AAs at all. Like, except for the Sams, half the time, most of our AAs are dead as soon as they hit the ground.
I'm gonna kill myself
That's
a
back
Warhog
on slow,
I
like,
killed myself
World
a
War II
Warhog.
stuff. So it shows
I
how
killed
bad
myself
they'd
a
be at modern.
I killed myself a Warhog.
Nice. Plus, James has hit a jet before with a lesser AA, so that's why I think him and his Chieftain is going to be pretty scary. I don't think Darius really quite realizes how scary. But we can do that if that's what he wants. I'll move James up to the Chieftain to verse
Which
the
I'm
Apache.
currently grinding right now.
Because James will have the Chieftain soon, so.
I already have it. I'm playing it now. I'm in a match with it
I
now.
thought you said you were grinding it. I thought you were trying to get it.
No, I'm grinding its upgrades.
Ah, you're upgrading it.
Remember, I spent the same amount of money Darius did to get the Marksman, but then you told me I couldn't have it because it's cheating. Because if he was going to get the Apache.
I still don't think he's gonna quite be ready for James. No matter what he's doing right now, I just don't think he is.
So, as Darius is practicing with his jets, I'm practicing to shoot them down.
Styles makes fights, and being in the customs, even if they, since Styles make fights, the custom players are going to be better at, to a certain extent. But they don't meet the chaos that the random does as well, because they actually do kind of respect certain rules and play fair. Randoms don't.
Right, so I don't know how
It's like
the
being
radar
tempered in
system
fire,
works.
literally.
I don't know how the radar
Wait, does
system
that mean we
works.
can't
So
impose a lot of limits on Darius? Well, he has to be within firing range of the gun before
which
he can
I'll
make his
tell you what
strafing
my
run.
max range is
I think
on
it's 3
my
kilometers on the Chieftain.
okay, if you say so.
Is it higher or lower?
I thought there's 3 kilometers for the Falcon.
Oh, so what's the Chieftain? You're in it. You should be able to look at it.
I know it.
Yeah,
I've just
SAMs don't
bounced
count
a
though.
show off a
The auto
tank.
lock SAMs. At that point, it's kind of a weird thing because it's like, well, then it's just hope the missile hits.
I thought I bounced a round off a light tank.
Yeah, that can happen.
Let me proceed to show you what it's like to kill him. Yep, I killed that cat. I bounced. Hold on. This is what I don't get. I can't bounce around off a tank, but I can bounce around with an AA against a light.
He got
Look
lucky.
up the walls of
it. Yeah.
And I annihilated his existence. You see, I killed a leopard, now I've killed a poor Germans. They must be so upset with me. I killed a leopard and a Rampers Carpezagin, 90. Oh, that poor town got limited with the OCC. Poor town.
But, let me see. James AA sound like the American Sergeant York AA. It might be. To be fair, it probably is. At least the British version.
Oh my god,
If you
what's
think
that?
about it, that happens a lot, so.
I just killed an STRF 9040C.
So you're getting a lot of lights, wow.
No, that was a tank. That was not a light.
Well, it's probably a light tank. I just feel like you wouldn't have pinned it if it was a heavy.
I exploded his ammo.
At least they've made that better. It does seem like ammo explosions are a little more prominent, which is ironic because I've been running little to no ammo using the strat to create hollow points in the tank for a long time, and now a lot of people are doing it more again because of how good ammo explosions are again in that game. And people are now remembering where they all are. No, it's only going to be a matter of time before people realize, even with the lowest ammo, what rack of ammo is always loaded, so they know where to hit there. Yeah, it has better radar. It has better radar lock, but the irony is in that James won't even probably be using the radar. He'll mostly be using the other thing he uses on it. So, I actually don't think that's going to matter
This
much.
is the oh my god. So I can see inside the house. Okay, so this is the best thing ever. I'm just going to send you a screenshot. I'm going to save this and I'm going to post it to Discord. Because I am going to have to show you this. So I can see inside the buildings.
You're probably because you're if you're in the Chieftain right now, it's got to be your radar or whatever doing that.
That's at the turret.
Oh.
I'll send it to you, but I will put to Discord in a second.
Which I'm not missing anything.
I came 8th.
Well, that's not bad.
3.
For an A, you're using the A mostly. That was pretty good.
I used 2 tanks, died both of them. I somehow got 3 kills in an AA.
I do love that. The Chieftain Marksman is so hilarious in that way.
Oh, look at this. Oh yeah, because I turned off night vision because
Radar is better than LR, but LR will alert the Apache, but also the radar because it will ping him. Yeah, but still, if you're better with your LR and you know how to, and you just get your range right, all you got to do is be a good shot at that point.
My fire rate's 550 rounds per minute.
He'll get like a point something few seconds between James's reaction time to his LR and the alert that's going to be sent to Darius. Yeah, and Apache technically has its own radar as well. But since he has to go into gun range, whatever that is for the Chieftain, in order to make his run, or even hit him with anything, this means that both will kind of pretty much know where each other is pretty quickly when that starts to happen. Once one is made, the other. And same thing with James, like, he can't camp in a certain spot for more than, like, 2 minutes. That kind of things. Which I'll set a timer on my phone for, like, a stopwatch timer so we know how, like, if he does stop. I'll have to spectate James and be on his side. Just so or do the spectator mode where I'm not on either team so I can kind of see both, but I can watch James, see how long he's sitting somewhere, and then check distancings with Darius on his side. Which it's still going to be a fun challenge once we're able to do it. Which you'll have to let us know now, like when Darius has got his best time to be able to do this. Because I know James goes back to work tomorrow and he'll have Sunday off. So. If he had a
Okay,
Russian
so...
tank heli, this fight it will be unpredictable. I actually think with a Russian heli, he might have a better chance. Because then he might survive the shot, strafe, and then just just get out of town. That's the thing about Russian helis. They're really beefy. So the chances of them getting into an actual brawl and living is quite high.
So no, the fact that I use APDS as one of my ammos.
I mean,
That's my
even
name.
then, some choppers are just thick. But luckily, that's the one thing the Apache doesn't really have. In certain places, it's got some nasty little plates of armor, but to be fair, against the Chieftain Marksman, against the Skink, I would have seen that as she might deflect that in certain places. But the Chieftain, no. Not completely. At first, maybe for the first second or two, but if James lays enough stress on that anywhere, it's gone. Also, weapon loadouts are a thing. Yeah, that's true. Yep. He'll have to think about what his best setup might be to get the job done. Which, that's up to him. I'm not going to restrict him on that. As long as he's firing at James within James's gun range, that's fair game.
Okay. Right, return to hangar. Now I know where 3 kilometers is.
He built a loadout to counter the skink, so he's making a new one. That makes sense. Because now it's way stronger of a gun. Guns.
Yeah, it's only got 2 35mm cannons on it.
Only.
Only. It should have 4 of them, to be fair.
Jesus, you're not a Gepard, shut up.
Well, no. See, I like the Gepard, but I think to me 4 is a bit too much. A bit not enough. But 8 or 6.
Yeah, wow. James just wants an AA with like 8 guns on it. Shouldn't you just do like America did and said, screw it, just one really fast gun will be the same difference, which is a minigun.
No, those will be. Oh no. So then, if okay, so right. So, would you
That's
like
true.
the good news?
What? What is it?
How far do you think the chieftain marksman could fire?
Unless it's Gepard range, I would assume 3 kilometers.
Nope, it's higher than that.
6.
It's less than that.
In between? Hey Ardna, is that the Starfleet clock poster on the wall behind you? Well, it's not a clock, sadly. I wish. But it is a
It's a
star.
cock.
It's actually, and I didn't know this. That's actually the United States Space Force logo, but it's ironically the Starfleet logo if you really look at it. And I'm like, that had to have been on purpose. But yes, it is basically. I got
Just
that
in
at
bit.
a little woodworking shop that I found in the mall a while back.
I
Which in
just
a
love
minute
how.
we're gonna show off my Halloween stuff. Go ahead and get through that, and then we'll start doing all the talking stuff. About like y'all wanting to talk to me about questions, things you might have never asked me. I'm going to talk about my past a little bit more this time, a little bit more detailed, and things that have been going on. And why the channel's been kind of chaotic lately, along with future plans
Me.
of the secondary channel. No, that's always there.
Besides me.
It's like Apache still outranges it with 6 kilometer HEGM. Which that makes sense, but once again, he's not allowed to outrange him.
Only by like 1.5.
That's true, but he's still not allowed to do that. Like I said, he has to fire within gun range. If he fires outside of gun range, I'll consider that a
because
a
my chief
scrap.
the marksman,
And
I'd say
then
safely
I'll
could
bring Tam
shoot.
King in there with me in another AA, and I'll get in my chopper, and we'll see how he evades 3 different people at once.
See, here's the thing. I reckon safely that the chief the marksman. Now I haven't tested this fully, but I say safely it can shoot 4.5 kilometers.
That's
Safely.
probably its optimal range, but 5 is its max. Although it could shoot over that and just not be good at it. I have
Yeah,
seen the Gepard do that too.
it can shoot over that.
It'd
I think
just be
the other,
super inaccurate.
except one. What you doing? Go forward.
Yeah, I know he can load both, but he won't. But good luck trying to shoot both while everyone's shooting at you at the same time. He's gonna get one of us, maybe even 2. Be like the kids, like the DVD logic. But one of us is gonna get him.
Nope.
But Tam King said, "Nice, looks awesome." Thank you, Tam King. Also, the random monkey from the fair I won a long time ago over there to my right. Y'all to the left for you guys on the camera.
Not. Just give him a wrench.
I've seen Apache shoot both. Oh yeah, but he has to be able to. If let's say I'm one angle on him, and someone's on another angle, he ain't gonna be able to see both. Yeah, but he won't see me. Not at first. I'm pretty good in the little bird. If it wasn't for he was in AA last time, I actually think I would have snuck up on him. Because I wasn't looking for a ground unit during that battle.
Neither was I.
Caught me
Until I
off
saw
guard.
him.
I'm like, what?
Yeah,
Like,
I
oh,
would have killed him if
it's a sound.
that random missile decided you had to lock on to me.
Because I thought he was using radar missiles on, like, a chopper. But no, he was in a SAM. I was like, oh, crap. Well, wasn't looking for that. I almost got him, too, on that second one, but screwed it up. Plus, my little bird should be at least a little bit faster before we do this Sunday. Because I am going to play it tomorrow.
No, you say that. You say that.
Well, it's gonna be after I do Armored Core tomorrow. We got to do that first tomorrow. We won't get to do it tonight. He doesn't need to. He just needs to laser lock one and focus air with ATGMs. You mean AAMs? Yes, Darius, fire the anti-tanks at the chopper. It'll totally make sense.
Do it, you bitch.
Even though you have AAMs. They would love him to accidentally do that mistake, and I'm like, well, you made a bad mistake. I'm gonna die, but so are you. That'd be hilarious. But don't worry, he won't turn fast enough to get me. One of us will be at the wrong angle for him to lock, because he won't have time to lock and then turn and then go lock again and shoot, or manually shoot the second one. We will kill him. And there's 3 of us. So there will always be death. But anyways, we should probably start working on the Halloween stuff so we can work to the important discussions of today's chat and talks that we're going to go over and things that are going to be changing and events coming up. Of course, y'all can tell the one we're talking about now. That is one of the events we're going to be doing, which is a special little battle. I'm literally wrote it down as Battle of the Idiots. It's probably what I'm going to title it when we do the stream.
But yeah, but there's only one idiot.
No, I'm gonna equate you both to it.
Well, I am an idiot,
It's
but I'm
only
a
fair.
good idiot. I'm a
It's
good
only
idiot.
in the
There's a bad
Slanesh
idiot,
arena,
Darius, and there's a good idiot.
in the Slanesh arena, there is one thing I do abide by from Corn, and that you will follow the rules.
And there's one thing I would do by Corn. Blow everything up. It's just easier than dealing with this shit.
But let's see. He can fire both ATGMs. We'll go to the tank targeted while the AA. Yeah, but we're not both going to be looking at him from the same side. That's foolish. That's like 2 survivors standing in front of my ghost face at the same time, like crazy people. It's like, do you see him? No. Why are we turning red? Don't know. Put both of them in Hueys. What? No. That wouldn't be fair to James. James is not a good chopper pilot. He's decent, but no. James will be like, "How do I stop?" Runs into Darius instead. Oh man, it'd actually be kind of funny. I'd actually like to see that just for the heck of it, for goofs and giggles. Can Darius dodge James from crashing into him?
Now that's a good challenge. And what if I succeed? Does that make me a good pilot or bad pilot?
It makes you a good crashing pilot. Means you're very good at crashing either into something or around something.
Thank you, Arthur. I knew I could count on you.
Yeah, like I said, there wouldn't be dodging in that fight. It'd just be devolving into James like, alright, hit the big red button. And James is huge, fast, so...
Yeah, it is. It gets slower, but then it gets faster, so I actually...
Okay, I feel like a bomber duel, that means Darius loses that one automatically. Have you seen James in a bomber?
Pretty terrifying, might add. I literally...
Oh, how good I deal with that, dealing with James.
How good am I with bombers? Well, I decided that I wanted to fight fighter pilots in my bombers. Because I'm just thinking, there's a need there, surely,
no, you just need to be an AA, Tam King. You could be a World War II AA and still be effective in that fight.
You just need to have to... It's a lot of practices with, like, aiming, how far to aim, shit like that.
Yeah, but one has a B-17. Yeah, but that's not fair because that's too much armor. James would have to have his British equivalent, or at least one tier down from it.
What?
To the one she was talking about.
No, well, I made a Facebook post to exist.
But right now, I think we just stick with the original deal. Yeah, but even with skills, there's too much armor on a B-17 that the guns on the British bombers below that James has would not pierce the B-17.
No, they wouldn't.
She'd be laughing the whole time, like, "Ha! What are those pop cannons you're shooting at me?" Fires one round and kills James. I could also be a chopper ace in the making. You could be. You could be. You could be. It turns out
Tam
King
could.
turns out to be Matt Murdock secretly.
I hope that's true.
That would be hilarious. Tam King turns out, I'm like, if that happens, I'm going to get Matt Murdock's theme and the Vietnam theme for the helicopters in that one movie and just play it every time Tam King gets in a chopper. Even then, I still don't think that's a fair fight. Even the 5.3 one, that's a big girl. Even the 5.3 one's a big girl. It's not as big as the big one, but I feel like right now the safest bet is I'll upgrade James to the Chieftain, and we'll just keep it against its original opponent. But he has to follow, like I said, the rules are set for both sides. Which we'll go over the day of the actual little match, so don't get confused. I wrote it all down, trust me. This is how I've been keeping track of all this. Because I wrote it all down in my phone that when we are able to do this, I can keep track of it and don't forget what we all said.
When are we doing it?
Decided on. That we have to figure out. We can either do it this Sunday if Darius is ready, or we can plan it for another time if Darius needs to wait a little while. Or if you need more time to get your Chieftain upgraded. It's up to you how y'all want to play this. That I'm letting y'all decide when it comes to scheduling. And I'll just write it down when we do. Sorry, my voice is kind of crackling there. Sometimes I do long sentences, it does that. Also, I've got another short I'm going to be putting up. Me and James had a hell of an experience with the Boogeyman of DVD the other night, and I'm going to put it up on the channel.
Did we?
We did. Yeah, it was the most hilarious. I wish it had sound, because I wish you could have heard me, chat.
Oh.
I wish I'd have been on stream. That was
Didn't it
rough.
involve that one of our teammates decided to hide and we just
And
stuck
then we were
there?
like, we kept healing. Like, wonder why he ran away. And then all of a sudden, oh yeah! I'm like, oh, shit. I kid you not. I was like, probably realistically, two things away from actually shit myself in real life. That was the most hilarious, but freaked me out so much and jump scared me so bad. And I don't play many against that particular character, so it was hilarious.
Wasn't it the dredge?
It was. Let's see, my money is James using some kind of Zeech magic and killing Darius with a tree at 3k feet, 3,000 feet in the air. He's in his Bradley grind and is making 125k and an 11.0 heli PvE game and is suffering from top tier jets. Well, go down to the low level PvE choppers. If the high PvE choppers are too hard, don't play them. Go to what I do. Go to the basic of chopper, his Huey, and make money on that. That's what I do. Because nothing in that tier except the Gepard can really kill you, unless you're really bad. Oh, you mean he's playing jets? Because I was gonna say, I've never. Does the heli change at PvE at that rank? So let's say you're 11.0 chopper in PvE versus my 8.3, I think it is, for the little bird German thing, the Alouette. Well, if it actually scales up, that was what I was kind of worried about. I'm like, will it actually give me something that can actually kill me easier at that rank, actually making it kind of harder to grind, which means the efficiency would actually tank on how much money you make. Whereas right now I can make, now that I actually understand the mechanics, make quite a lot. All Gepards and one Sam. That is worse, but as long as it's only one Sam, I might be able to I could just sit outside of its range and kill it. I'll just have to remember that once I get up to that tier. But, oh well, let's show this off real quick and then we'll go back into talking. I do want to show these off. I've got two of them to show off, then we got a little unboxing I want to do. See, at the bases, that makes sense. But since you have to push objective, and I actually do finish my PvE matches, it may take twice as long, but you'll make twice as much by doing so. Temperature 5k range, yeah. So you sit out like near 6k kilometer range. Or more. Depends on your chopper.
What was that from? Oh. Oh, I gotta lose.
11.0 is actually very fast. I mean, that makes sense, especially since the choppers are faster. They've got, like, better, what do you call it? Like, rockets. Quicker to that. 15 minutes is max for them. Oh, that's not bad. So I'm going to show this off real quick. I found this for the Halloween costumes. There's another one I have over there. You can tell who it is. Automatically, of course. But, which is why now you know why I had him in the intro of this, to kind of show off for the Halloween event. Is one of the main things I was talking about today. I bought this not too long ago. This and one other version. Yeah, it's like, I bought this and this is one other version. This is the Viper version, which is the more Jane, like if this was like Janera's son version with Malik. So, because this one wears all red instead, and it's kind of completely the opposite. Also, his face has teeth instead of the normal kind. Let me go get the other one real quick. Oh, here, put this one down. Okay, and then let me grab this one. This is the other one. I don't have this costume yet for my in-game one. This is the one I actually wore when I was actually a kid, like a long, long time ago. Is this one? This is the devil face one. This is the one with the red mask. Now, they had the classic one as well, but that'll be easier to find than these will. These won't be around forever, especially if Dead by Daylight dies off at some point. But I just want to point out how popular this game is getting to the point this is now a thing. Yo, welcome, Press Dragon. Yeah, but that's not the major part. Although, what the next part I'm going to say, and I'm going to have to give a disclaimer before we just do this next part, a big one. But we'll get to that in a second. Be cool if you got a code with it for that gave you the skin in game. I wish. That would be a good way to sell these, though. You're right. I'm kind of surprised. Dude, Dead by Daylight, if you hear that, do that for this. That's actually quite amazing. And trust me, since so many people buy these things anyways, that would be a really good way to kind of market and sell for Dead by Daylight. And they gotta probably get money off of this somewhat also, just because this outfit's based on their in-game version, so. But I've got it and the Viper one. So let me put this one up and get the main thing we gotta do for stream. 1 second, chat. But I've got both versions. I'm gonna have y'all vote on which one you want for the challenge I'm about to talk about. For the Halloween special coming up this year. As I grab the other item slowly. I gotta elevate all the way down, chat. One second. Which after this video I will be manually going into the settings and removing something automatically, just because this is a vlog anyways and I don't really need it to be monetized anyway, so, and what I'm about to do is going to demonetize it anyways, so, if I was, but first we're gonna talk real quick before I do this next part, but I'm gonna elevate back into the chat screen here. So we're gonna talk about the event before I do this unboxing thing we're about to do. So my special plan for Halloween this year, yo Darius, I am halfway done with my Bradley and was murdered by a BS Big 29 and is destroying my soul. With 12.0 up tiers, my sanity is ready. Well, at least you got that running for you. You already been broken in the
At least you're
mind,
prepared
so.
for your sanity to be lost.
See, that's what I was about to say. At least you got your mind broken, so the Zichi powers won't be quite as good that way.
See, even if I don't affect you directly, Darius, there's some way I can dick you. Even if it's not that by me.
This is very Slanesh. I now have insanity on my side against James. Yes, but
That's
he's
the
still the
thing that...
king of insanity, though.
Yeah, I'm about to say, Darius, if you have a sanity against you, that makes me more powerful against you.
That's true.
So
But
you wouldn't make it... You wouldn't be... You actually hurt yourself more by being insane.
that's a good point. But then again, I don't know.
Look
Who
at the
knows anymore?
Empire. They said a small little girl, her mind was broken, she was fixated, her mind
She
was screwed
destroyed
on.
you, James. Don't let me
Exactly
remind
my
you that you
point.
lost to that.
Exactly, because her mind wasn't broken.
He's
Now, if her
fighting
mind was
fire with
broken, now
fire.
that'd be different.
I don't know, maybe. I feel like the only way Darius is going to win this, he needs to embrace his inner little Darius. Like, he needs to look back at his childhood and go, alright, little man, I need your help for this one.
Or if he goes, no, you're a dick.
It's to use the
Oh, there goes
chaos to
Doja.
destroy chaos. But that does work, but only a kid can master true chaos.
But
Hey,
then,
and I have a
again,
question. Have I been wondering what happened? Do you have a disability I never knew? Oh, no, you're good. It's
no,
into the...
he doesn't. See, what it is, I kidnapped him, I chopped his arm off, and I told him to be famous.
No, that's not what happened, but now
Yeah,
I'm going to be
you know,
using
that's what
that as an
happens, that's what
excuse to
happens. I
doing
see, I'm secretly
IRL.
an Asian dad. I'm secretly an Asian dad. We beat our
Usually I
kids.
use the Jurassic Park joke, but I'm switching it to James's now. But no, but anyways, no, I do have a disability. I have no arms. I do everything with my feet and play games with my feet. It's in my description, but so a lot of the times I forget to tell people, hey, check out the description below, because I feel like it gets old repeating it over and over again. It kind of pushes people away. I don't like my channel to feel too robotic. At least not in that fashion. That is irony about what else we're going to talk about today, but... Oh god, Farseal lied about Jets. Did I? What do you mean?
Why
Wait,
did you
I
trust
didn't lie. Who am I talking about? It's my trickster.
She lied about Jets, which I don't care. 2, good for her. 3, she's becoming more each.
She's partialness. Part of us somewhat should.
Yeah, she's interestingly, she's mastering all of the chaos elements. Interesting, but she does have a little bit of Nurgle in her.
So, it's pure torture. I mean, that
Good.
I could have, I assumed that all without even being told that. The top tier Jets are probably pure ace combat, just death and destruction, and please help. Please send help. Is what it basically. It's just me sticking a sign outside my Jets cockpit saying send help.
It's not the touch. It's not torture. It's just get good.
It's just get good.
I kept telling you, Darius. What's my advice to you all this time? Every time you ever talk to me, we was talking about a missile dodging, right? And you kept saying that you can't dodge a missile. I said, yes, you can. You just need to get good.
Yeah, I mean...
And you gave me a stat, Darius. I forget what it was called. 11.7. 90% of people dodged. Couldn't dodge a missile, and I said, well, I just pointed out, well, the 10% did dodge them, so they're the better players.
Makes sense.
You don't look at the big number, you look at the
just
small
because
number.
You have no
let's
possible
make that
chance
bigger.
of escaping a MiG-29 missile, just get good.
No, it isn't.
Whoa,
you
that's
can't
cool.
escape it.
I can't even pick up anything with my feet. Oh, thank you, Prez. Thank you. Yeah. Well, that's just because I've been doing this since I was young. I kind of just... It's more of an instinct thing. The body learns when it has to.
I could write my name in giant letters over my feet.
Plus, some other things pushed me to grow a little stronger inadvertently, even though it was not my choice, some of those things that happened. But, you
Why
know...
do I ever badge you? I'm gonna oh god, my mind just went... you probably know what my
You're
mind
probably
went
imagining something far better than what actually happened, and I kind of wish whatever that is probably what it was, I wish. It would have been better than what happened.
How that? Do you want your channel demonetized, or would you like to keep it?
I mean, it's about to get... Wait till later, because it's about to be demonetized when I open this box.
Okay, I'll wait.
And no, it's not anything dirty like that, but trust me, it's going to be demonetized
mine
as soon as I open this box. James, they pull a D move and fly. That's what James is about to do. And fly as close as possible by making it impossible to dodge. That sounds familiar. What's going on here? Welcome, Boba Fett. Welcome. We're doing some show offs of the Halloween special. We just showed off my ghost face costumes for Halloween. By the way, I forgot to finish what I was saying. The challenge for that is on Halloween night. We're gonna have a Halloween special stream for that night for anyone who didn't get to do anything that night or wants to see it next day after they go out for their Halloween stuff that night. We're gonna be doing Ghostface's Ghostface. I literally mean that. I'm going to wear one of those costumes with the mask and everything, and we're going to play as Ghostface, and I'm going to attempt to try to see through the mask and play Dead by Daylight also as Ghostface. I'm also going to buy the costume I'm wearing, so we're matching the person. It's going to be hilarious. Now, what we're showing right here, we're only showing this now. I probably won't have this during the Halloween special. I might in the background somewhere. But because the how stickler YouTube kind of is, this is only probably going to be for this stream, since this is a vlog. So, also, can we wait until after the update for the duel? Why? What's happening?
No!
Oh, hold on. PS5 is going to enter rest mode. Really, PS5? I'm in the middle of Share Factory.
PS5's like, fuck this.
I'm going to sleep, the PS5 said.
That's how it felt when my PC fell asleep midway during the credits of the Need for Speed.
Like, what you mean? Not anymore, it's not. Okay? James needs to dress like the nurse for the stream.
I will not dress like
or the doctor. I'll give him this. At least the doctor or a knight. You better get a suit of armor if you're gonna do that.
Why do I have to be dressed for this?
Because it's Halloween. You gotta dress up for Halloween.
I'll just be your mother. It's more scarier.
There's no costume for that. Just
There is.
make it easy. Get a mate some fake armor, or buy an actual doctor's outfit and put some weird things on your eyes and make you look like the doctor.
I could just dress like your mother. It's the most scariest thing I could think of.
There's no outfit for that. That's what I'm telling you. There's not anything scary enough.
Okay, fair enough. You have.
Let's see, James has a point. Oh, that's great. Hey, welcome everyone. They're changing a lot of stuff, and it is not giving me a personal assistant on my heli to tell me what James is doing. What? Wait, it is not, so that means it is.
Wait, so what's it say? What did he say?
Wait, are you saying it is? Are you being joking with that?
And it's not giving me a personal assistant on my heli to tell me what James is doing.
That sounds sarcastic. Forget it. This is how this is now a Halloween duel. I gotta go. All right, I'll be back. That's fine, Prez. It's good. All we're gonna be doing is an unboxing. Then we're gonna talk about the future plans of the other channel.
How the hell did
the other events, and then we'll be delving into Ardnaught's history.
Fuck this! I'm gonna go.
Also, how are we gonna do? What if you a Halloween duel? How are we gonna do this a Halloween duel? You, Darius, and you do not own Dead by Daylight. You should, but you do not own Dead by Daylight. That was a huge hint. You should.
Definitely should.
I need more people as survivors. No reason whatsoever.
So do I. For some reason, my knight keeps winning all the battles. He's getting depressed. Oh, he wants to fight.
Then buy it, Darius. If you can buy it, then buy it. It's cross-platform, so.
Yeah, it is. And you get to face the Ardos. So here's the thing. Would you like to fight my terrifying knight, which I made it slightly terrifying, but I have a perk now.
Darius.
Or would you like to face Ardos Xenomorph, which is even more terrifying?
Actually, though, even though my Xenomorph is scary, I do feel like I could kill you faster with Ghostface still, but you know, hey.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's preference, really.
James, you never see me coming when I'm a survivor. You know how many times I've made you as a Ghostface when we're playing?
Did you know how many times I was trying to get spotted?
No, when I'm playing, you never know I'm there, because you can't even find me when I'm playing Survivor. It's like, hey, where do you come from? And I'm like, James, you need to be more observant.
No.
But seriously, everyone get DBD right now.
Yeah, increase their sales.
Yeah, support the DVD devs and also support your local Ardnaught on the battlefield.
And support your local Chaos Lord on the battlefield as well.
Die to BS or die to BS, but it's an alien. Or a Ghostface with alien genomes. Or a Wesker with alien genomes. It's still going to be part alien no matter what. There's always a Xeno. I'm basically
or you could die to the most brutal knight ever.
But no, seriously, it would be fun, because then you get to enjoy the laughs with Tam King, watch the most craziest things in the world happen that you never expect. Things like that.
That could be a good transition, wink.
Into I like that you did a proverbial digital wink, but I feel like you haven't set me up properly for this, and I don't know what you're quite referencing.
I'm not.
Crazy taxi, exactly.
This is why I took your arms, because you need to learn to be the bigger thing.
Yes, it's totally Crazy Taxi. I miss that game. Actually, that's a blast from the past. If I ever get a chance to play that game, chat, we're gonna. I think it's on the classic PS Plus thing. Not sure. I know I saw it somewhere. I'm gonna pick it up. Join them, Darius. They need a new human shield to replace Tam King's old job. No, Tam King will still be there. It'll be Darius, Tam King, James, Prez, and then me. But I'll be behind the knife. Or the tail. Or the weird tentacle thing coming out of my hands. No, we need a Slanesh demon in there. But anyways, alright, let's get to the next portion of this as well. We can torture Darius more with DVD later. I'm gonna go ahead and start. Which side do I need to open this up on? Kind of forgot which side the handle's on. I'm gonna open up on this one. Nobody is unhooking Darius, and he is the permanent sacrifice. Nah, Tam King will save him. He's always tries to save people. That's how Tam King plays. Why is this not on? There we go. Is that the handle side? Okay, it is. Alright, I'm gonna do this real quick. I'm gonna open it. We're not gonna pull it out quite yet. But as you can see what it probably is. And this, I'm only gonna show this a little bit because that is a logo, so I'm gonna pull this out very gently. By the way, before I do this, this is a disclaimer. Do not play around with this. No, that's not a fake fireplace. That's a candle. I tend to have like scent candles and incense. I'm a big scents person. I like different smells and stuff. I grew up around a lot of them, so it's in my blood. But before I do this, this is not a toy. This is only for literally like my own collection. Bill never leaves a survivor behind. Exactly, Tam Gang. This is for my own collection, and this is also just for Halloween purposes, and also for, you know, I do, once upon a time, I did used to go camping a lot and do, like, with family and stuff, so, yeah, this is not a toy. So,
I didn't hear what you said for the past couple minutes.
But wait, my minigun AA had a radar. Frick, I should have killed Ardnot with it. You should have.
You didn't realise that?
You most definitely should have.
You didn't realise that, Darius, but I did. I wasn't going to say anything because I wanted to see how long you realised you took before you realised that. Because I just saw this just a little dish next on your tank, and I'm thinking, has he ever used that?
I mean, that's just Darius forgot, I guess. Hold on 1 second, guys.
And you said you could beat me in a battle. Ha.
That's gonna get in his way. Hold on. I gotta put this over here where my cat can still get in up and down from this spot. Throw it down there. I don't need the box anymore. I'm gonna be keeping this out from now on now. I've been keeping it in the box until the vlog. Is that?
No, fuck the box.
Is what we could probably rename Halloween to Spook Not Month. That would be hilarious. Although I doubt that would happen. Alright, so. OMG, is that the first time I've seen your chair? Yeah, it probably is. Because we haven't, this is a better camera than the last camera I had, so. Make sure. Let me see what
hey, don't be surprised, I've already seen it before. It's not that impressive. It sounds like it though. Hey man. Oh, it's stinging map, but it's on ice. Whee! Oh god.
This one's a dual lock, if I remember correctly. This is my first time with this sheath. I've had a knife like this before, but the sheaths I used to have were just one buckle. Long time ago.
So I've got, you know my Rookite 105?
What's up?
I'm driving that on ice.
We are tired in win rates. Tied in win rates. You don't, Farzoo, you don't. It's not coming up. There we go. I thought it was stuck. So, let's on, before I unsheath this looked familiar to you guys. You recognize this knife. Once again, I had one of these a long time ago.
YouTube's gonna demonetize you, Ardnot.
I already know that. I'm gonna manually do it after the stream. Actually, after this. But
I'm still sliding.
But I'm going to do this with it so that way it stays right where it can be. But yeah, does that look familiar, Chad? We're not going to keep it out here long. I'm going to put it right back up. Now that it's been unboxed. I've also got to
Ardnot, do you know what that looks like to me, Ardnot?
What's up?
It looks like a knife.
Oh, yeah, it is. But whose knife is it? Does it look familiar?
Yeah,
to me it's a sword.
Use a sword.
To my size person, it's a sword.
So short that knives are considered short. The first dwarven samurai.
Basically. But this looks familiar, doesn't it? Yeah,
No, it doesn't.
see, Champ King knows. Champ King knows. He recognizes it right out the gate. Because I know exactly, this is going to sound terrible. It goes to show you who my favorite killer horror movie was when I was young. But this is a 119 special 75th anniversary edition. So this is what Ghost uses in the original movies. Well, a fake one. But this is the real one. This is the one most hunting people use as well.
Hold on. So you got the real or the fake? Got ya.
No, I got the real one. They use a fake one in the show. Or movie.
That's what I said. You got the real or the fake.
Yeah. So, but it's because that knife is based on an actual 119 hunting knife. So, I'm gonna put it up now. I stabbed a hole in my tray. That's why I have my sheath for it as well. It's gonna be pretty much kept, locked up all the time anyway, because it's just me anyways this year, and I don't really need it except for unless I'm gonna go, like, actually out camping and stuff like that, like I used to. But that's been
planning a murder,
no. Joking, you two.
Turns out Ghostface's knife is exactly the same knife that Loki used.
The one that turned out to be great.
It would turn out to be alright.
No,
it's not great. It would be great. It would be bad. It'd be alright. It'd be just alright.
If he murders, it'll be called murder not.
No, it'd be called Guess Who Knife.
I gotta get my fold. It's the same thing with my wallet.
Oh yeah, show us your wallet on
yeah, okay, show us your credit card.
Yeah, show it to the camera. Just
read out your
read out your insurance card very loud and clear. So.
David James, I can't buckle this up right now because you keep making. Just give me your information right now. I totally don't want it for no reason whatsoever.
I need it. I need those little. I need it for personal effects.
Personal reasons.
Yeah.
It's like there's this thing that's happening in this area, and I need to be there. So I need your credit. POVs are not stabs you exactly. See, I haven't. You know what's funny? I have more enough strength to actually wield this knife, but not buckle the damn buckle. This is gonna be art, not buckling. I'm just gonna leave it. It's like I said. It's safely back, and it's sheath. I'm gonna put it over here, out of camp, over here on the bed. But I will probably have at least, it won't be out of its protector, but it'll be in the background probably for the Halloween special somewhere, just to kind of accent the fact that who we're playing. Put that down there. But this is the benefit of working out, chat. It's like once you become so strong that you become the weirdest, smallest knife wielding person in the world. Oh man, that's crazy. But no, seriously though, I did find it amazing that I did find that knife. I thought I wasn't gonna find it. Since you said all missiles can be dodged, can you in the tornado dodge an R-73 missile? Probably
Yes.
not.
Oh, we
Deadly
can.
foe. I mean, you wouldn't expect it. My advantage is the Loki advantage, the trickster advantage, the somewhat Ghostface advantage. It used to be. Is I'm unassuming. I doubt I can. I don't think I can dodge an R-73 missile. But it's like, it's the unassuming-ness. It's the, he seems harmless. He's tiny. He has no arms. Also, the disadvantage of that also is this also makes everyone else also underestimate you in other things, too. when they don't realize, no, I am very much King of Slanesh. Don't let this weird look fool you. And like, I am very versatile. But that being said, it's like, at least the stealth factor is nice. Also, the surprise factor when you do actually find out. You're like, the hell? It's blowing my mind right now.
Well, Wine's dead. Good.
If you were a horror character, I feel like you'd be called a Slice Knot. No, that'd be my Slipknot name in the band. I've seen your wish list. See, Farseer somewhat knows my secrets. No, she's talking about mine. Farseer, because she's been around long enough and she has me a friend on Steam, she knows that don't underestimate. Don't underestimate. Let's just say it's like you're probably you'd be out there like, I bet you I'd be able to make you go, I bet you couldn't. I bet you couldn't. There's a reason why I wear purple. It was my favorite color even when I was a kid. You see that color in the background? It's there for a reason. Okay, time to tell James how broken OP the R-73 missiles is. Alright, while you do that, I'm going to start with our next step of the stream. Now we're going to move into our next portion. Wait, what kind of figures are in the background? There's actually a mixture back here. So we've got Tiny Tina from Borderlands. We've got my Fire Goddess Angel. That's not what it's called, but I can't remember what it was actually called, but that's what I got it for. That's basically what it is. It's Genera as an angel, a fire angel. Then I've got me a cybernetic steampunk dragon in the center. Like, it's hard to point because I don't... Hold on, wait a minute. 1 second, chat. I might have a way of pointing. 1 second, chat.
Use your foot.
No, it's not. I'm not tall enough. I need something longer than that. And the only other thing is inappropriate.
Yeah, the nicer the appropriate, like you can't show it on YouTube.
That's not what that's actually shorter.
Vegetables.
It's not. It's not you. Trust me.
Nah.
Alright. I don't know if this will be long enough, but we'll try.
I hate having no parts.
I guess I'm gonna use my magic wand. Let's see. Lots of figures kind of went off topic. Sorry. No, you good. I have to get its stuff in place anyways. I'll just run down the front ones. We're not gonna go through all of them. It's too many. The Sonic ones, which you probably can't see, are in the background. I do have one of Knuckles, Shadow, and Sonic. But yeah. Tiny Tina. Fire Angel. Cyberpunk Dragon. Hold on, let me move. Make sure y'all can still see. Right here. It's barely seeable, but that's, I forget. She's like basically a Bloodmancer vampire. Then a gray dragon. It's mostly dragons and Sonic the Hedgehog is the best way to put it. At least up there. All of my anime figurines are in a different part of the room.
I think Smite's got a new character, or a new crossover. It looks like the Joker.
Next. What? I missed something. Tomcats, Falcons, and other MiG-29s. Well, Darius already told you this, have to risk their necks and literally turn off their engines after slow spamming. That's actually really scary. But it also sounds familiar.
I just told him, just dodge it. You know, just dodge
it. Just get good.
Exactly, that's all it is. That's Darius' main thing. Just get good.
If I
can't dodge it, we'll get good. Dodge it.
This is going to sound terrible, but James knows what this joke is, because me and James were talking about this earlier. If I can literally follow a ghost face around the map as a survivor and him behind him without him knowing the entire match, then you can dodge a missile. If you can dodge a missile, you can dodge a dodgeball.
If you dodge, if you can't dodge a dodgeball, well, might as well die. That's pointless.
That's the only way they can dodge it. Well, then he needs to do that. He needs to learn to cut that engine, get dodge.
Finally have.
Get dodge and doge. You gotta turn into part doge and dodge.
Jesus Christ. Cost me 40,000 to get repair parts, to get improved parts on the Conqueror.
Well, let me elevate down, actually. Death by ball, lol. Exactly. The fastest moving ball, going at like Mach 1.
That's expensive.
That would be an expensive dodgeball.
That and what I just have to pay for my improved parts.
That would be an expensive dodgeball.
Would you like to know how much I paid for my improved parts?
What's up?
14,000.
Now James knows Darius' pain in the aim grind. I've seen his pain in the aim grind. God, when we got up tiered, even I was like, Jesus, we're actually seeing good players, and for once they're actually doing good. It's all of Sweden now. Sweden's taken over as Germany in the randoms because they have the better Leopard and everything, and the better overall tanks now. So it's like, what happened? Us poor German players been left out to die. We're going to rot away like a corpse. It's gonna be terrible. Germany's been put on the hook. Sweden's running around repairing generators. She's like, I'm gonna leave you to die. If you just play Fortunate Son while in a dodgeball fight, would your experience turn into a war movie? Probably. If you put your mind to it enough, probably. Especially depends on who you're playing with, too. If you're playing with aggressive enough players, it'll feel like a war movie. Or you just play with me. That actually is a good way to segment into this next portion, which is talking about my history. So once upon a time, I kicked a dodgeball into a kid's face. Now, not joking about that, by the way.
Yes! Fuck the kids!
This is when I was a kid. This was in one of my PE classes. Physical was whatever those classes are called now. They're called something else now.
They're called Kick the Children.
They were called PE when I was in the 90s, when I was a kid. Back in my day, no.
So gather around the fire, children. Listen to Rio Hard Not and his ye old days.
Oh yeah, the cost of parts is real. No, I've seen that on my the TAM, since it's my higher level tank. That thing is expensive, and choppers are also stupid. It's called legal violence. That's exactly what dodgeball is. I can just imagine the ball going boom. It did. To be fair, because I actually do kick real hard. That's the only thing me and Leon share, to be fair. Even though I'm more Chris than Leon, even with his beard.
No, you're not. You're more Leon than Chris.
I'm not. If I
No. I'm not Leon.
I
No,
wouldn't
I'm
be
not
as
Leon.
violent as I was.
No, I'm not Leon. That's
You're
the one thing.
You're definitely
I'm
Leon.
not. No.
You're definitely Leon.
Fuck Chris, I'm no.
Wait. Oh, you're definitely Leon.
I'm not Leon.
If you're not Leon, you're freaking Carlos.
I will punch Ashley in the face if she carries on. That's how much I'm not Leon.
Then you're Carlos. As the Ace Combat 7 is $9 on Steam. Wow. Because Carlos doesn't care much either, to be fair. Either that or you're...
That's if he's on the drums, he's slipped off.
No, the kick knot's a good one. That's exactly what it felt like. But yeah, when I was a kid, I kicked a dodgeball because in my PE... Because back then they kind of roped, like, disabled PE with a little bit of normal PE to kind of mix them together, and the normal kids would help out the disabled kids kind of thing. Well, mine regretted me.
Good job. But that guy's like, what a dick, ow!
To be fair, this is even before anything happened to me. Like, this is before my trauma I had when I was young. That was just me. To be fair, I've always had really strong legs. I used to, like, use my legs to try to pick myself up, kind of sit up while I'm laying on the ground, or do different things. I'm back to doing that now, but I fought the Amazon drone blimp in that game. Oh, nice. That's actually kind of hilarious.
Amazon's racist.
I remember that in Ace Combat.
What, Amazon's racist?
No, the blimp.
Oh, boss, I said Amazon's racist, and you're like, I remember
I
that.
remember those days. No,
I remember those days when
no,
Amazon
but
used to
seriously
beat
though.
black guys.
No, seriously though. Back in
Seriously,
those
these
days,
racists.
like I was actually pretty. Let's start going into a little bit of my past now. Now a little bit of the Ardnot history part. The Jeff Bezos hoard of cheese balls. Yes, absolutely. That actually sounds delicious.
They're little
And
balls
if
of
they belong
cheese.
to him, I'm taking them. They're mine now.
No, I stole them first. You
No,
know why?
but still though, back to the story at hand. No, James, you
No,
don't want. You're
pussy,
not
what
getting
the
no.
fuck
You're
is
not
that?
getting no. You're not getting no cheese balls.
I am. I'm getting.
Also, you can sum up Ace Combat multiplayer in one sentence. Guy missed. Yep. Because then you're dead. You get one shot and one shot only. Then you're dead.
Did they stop
Ace
that?
Combat was still, but yeah, but you know, I was actually pretty, and I'm back to that now, as you can see a little bit more today, and a lot more of the recent streams, especially Final Fantasy. I think the real me has come out the most I've noticed in streams since I've come back from my trip. It kind of let me pick up the pieces from my past and childhood in Final Fantasy. But that being said, I was a pretty straightforward kid, crazy, kind of out there,
So they removed
very,
that.
very, very confident back then. Like I'll admit, compared to me now, I'm getting better. I'm almost back to that. I'm pretty close to that, but not. I won't say 100%. Let's see. Another is kill the mute son of right now. Make his screen shake a lot. Exactly. Because because a lot of strategies back then had to do with certain what's it called, by rage or by what? A little bit of both. Rage came later because of what happened to me, but we'll get to that because I want to kind of build up to that because I don't want to jump ahead because then it'll kind of throw off everything. Because I do want to talk about a little couple of things, but yes, you are close. Part of that's true. Rage comes years later when I finally faced it, which was about 10 years ago fully now, when I started facing it for real. And sadly, it took me quite a while. But to be fair, y'all have actually seen part of it on this channel. Part of me picking myself up and repairing a lot of what happened, what we'll get to in this little past thing, what we're talking about me, has been on stream. Like some of the rough streams I've had. This is also why I wanted to talk about this. Oh, you were young, not yes. This was a long time ago, but this also explains kind of why I wanted to explain to you. Like sometimes I'll have streams where I regret doing them, and some of them I'll delete because I just wasn't proud of that stream because I let my kind of emotions tear me down a little bit that day, and it ended up kind of screwing up how I wanted to actually kind of stream and present certain things to you guys and all this other stuff. So that's why a lot of that tends to happen, which that should not happen anymore now. I'm pretty much now kind of fully faced all that, plus some other things I sadly left behind because of those things that I'm bringing back, which also has to do with the new channel that's going to happen, but we'll get to that too. I didn't know you did that. I did. Some videos I left up to remind me, don't do that again. Other videos I deleted because I was like, that's just not appropriate. I need to delete that. So I'm pretty stickler about my own videos, more so than even sometimes YouTube, even with the algorithm, with the way it is, the way it treats a lot of YouTubers. But even myself, I'm a bit stickler to a certain extent. But certain things I don't care about. I mean, if I did, then I wouldn't stream with Jazich over here.
Hey man, there's nothing wrong with streaming with me.
And it's like, but then there's other things I'm like, I do like to at least keep certain things real and keep going. Yeah, that algorithm is dumb though. It is. It's harsh on certain things that I think it shouldn't be harsh on. And then other things, it's like, here, let's ram this thing off a cliff, but not this thing when this thing is worse. Plus, I found some other things out about YouTube recently. It kind of made me go, eh. But it also kind of why I'm doing this new plan, in order for us to kind of legitimately be able to kind of grow the channel and other things I want to do as well. But it's a game chance with it. It's just pure luck. Well, there is a way to game it, but I'm not going to do that. I am going to do a legit way that I did find out on YouTube that I doubt they care about, because then it's more of me just putting in more work, which makes them more money at the end of the day. So they probably won't care about that, which is why I'm going to make a secondary channel a year or two from now, which is going to be a completely different style of thing. It's going to be robotics engineering, so building like little robots, eventually build bigger robots when I get a workshop of my own down the road. But at first it's going to be small stuff, and then programming AI, stuff like that. We're going to be doing a lot of stuff, and that channel will also be checking out other builds and other things people have done to kind of give spotlight to them, whether it be channels I actually like to watch, like spotlights to Adam Savage or to Hacksmith, things like that. Because those are channels I love to watch when it comes to engineering or just building things, no matter what it is. Apparently community posts help, but from what I've experienced with, doesn't work for me. Community posts work if the channel's already getting traffic. But to get that actual initial traffic, you have to really kind of get yourself noticed in some way or fashion, one way or the other. And usually the most ways to do this, legitimately at least, without kind of gaming the system, with the ways I found out recently, is to usually have a secondary channel that you have something else you enjoy doing. So that way you have two different fronts with two different types of audiences. And then later on down the road, you can kind of filter them together and then share the communities between the two. A lot of YouTubers do this. They also sometimes do this with platforms. But I'm not a Twitch person. I don't think I'm ever going to stream on Twitch. It's just not my thing. But maybe the other one, Kick, that's getting going one day, but I don't think it's big enough right now for that. But back to the history thing real quick, to kind of go back towards it, everything was kind of like going well for me in the beginning. It's like I was a pretty straightforward, really confident person. I was always out there, always talking to people, always trying to get in the middle of things.
Of course you were.
And stuff like that. That was before I knew what that part actually meant. Wearing purple pants and purple stuff, because my favorite color, literally since I was born, is purple, as you can tell. So I've always had that color kind of in me. Plus my favorite Marvel hero on my shirt, along with Loki as an anti-hero, Venom, and then of course, um, my brain blanked out on me. Spidey himself. Technically, I like Venom better, but you know. Welcome to the Saints, are not the irony in that too. And we are actually going to check that out. It's free on PlayStation Plus Premium right now, so we're definitely going to be playing it. I don't know if the new game's good. I've seen some things on it, but since I don't have to pay for it, that sounds terrible. We're going to play it on the channel at some point. Because I do like me some Saints Row, ironically. I did grow up on it with GTA. I actually did like it more than GTA when I was a kid. But yeah, like I was always an out there person. Like this is gonna be I'll give you another weird, crazy story from my young self to show my ingenuity. So y'all know the Front Mission games, right? We've been playing Front Mission 1 Remake on the channel recently. Well, Front Mission 3 is my favorite version of that series. How I got this game, because games weren't like $70 back then. They were like 60 to 70 bucks. It wasn't basically part of your rent just to get one video game. Back then, games were like 20 bucks, maybe 15, depending on what it is. This is back in PS1, like PlayStation 1, PS2 era. So what I did, chat, because I usually go around and like to sit in like places, run around stores and stuff. I sat at a Home Depot one day and made this old couple, wherever they are, if they're still living, be blessed in the most greatest way possible and have everything in life that they could have ever had because of how kind they were to me. But I basically got this nice old couple to give me $20 to go get Front Mission 3. They may or may not have known it was for Front Mission 3. So before you go, "Aw," to my side, they may have thought it was for something else. Like I said, there's been a bit of Loki in me at all times. He's been there since I was a kid. Just never fully noticed that. But to be fair, like I said, it was really generous of them, and ironically, it wasn't totally fibbing, because I said, well, you know, oh, screw you. It's like, to be fair, I knew at the time, me and my mom couldn't even afford that. I won't go into too much, but this is the beginning of the dark ages of my life. The bad thing hasn't happened yet. But as far as me and my mom's life and what we were going through in general, IRL, we could barely afford, like, McDonald's back during this time. So we were kind of going between stuff. So it was, in a way, you know, why I kind of did that, because I was like, yeah, I don't want her to have to do this, and we can't really afford to anyways, because, you know, during certain situations. But the Dark Knight ages, it is. I should call it that. 2008. Wait, would that be accurate? Wait a minute. Hold on. I don't have a calculator. I'm 34, chat. In 2008, what age would I be? My brain's melted on me today. I'm not even gonna front. I'm 34. Where's my freaking calculator?
Right, so you're 34 and you're
Yeah.
in 23.
Yeah. It would be
Take 3 to
2008.
make it 20.
I
It
want to
needs to be
see if that's actually
2008, so you need to
coincidental.
take off 12?
12?
No, yeah.
Okay, so no.
Should
That
be
would be,
20.
it would be a part of the Dark Knight ages, but it'd be post that. So I at 12, so I'm 34 minus 12, that would
12
put
at
me
3
at,
is 15, so that would be 22.
so I'd be 22.
So, no,
Ooh.
no, equals 3. Okay, so that take.
So, not quite, but it is at the end of something bad, and I'm kind of, you know what? Maybe I should save that, because that, so are you sure it's 22?
No, because I'm confused. Hold on. Let me work it out.
Oh yeah,
Hold on.
you're supposed to be the buck
So
one here.
hold on. So add 2. To make it 10. Then you just add 13. So 2 and 13. That'd be 15. Take 34. Right? Because that's your age, right?
I'm 34 now, so you got to minus whatever 2008 would have been from here.
You would have been 19.
Oh, okay, Chad. Alright. So yes, Farseer 2008 would be quite accurate. That would be the end of the dark, well, not the end. Let me rephrase this. That would be the final mistake I ever made, which we know what that might be. James knows what that is. That has to do with a character on the channel, because I'm 19. This means that I know someone and I am right on the cusp of screwing up. Real bad. Real bad. So, James went full Sherlock Holmes there. He did. And the irony is, Farsi is not off on that era. So, that is the last mistake I'll make because of the Dark Knight era ages. Because of what happened to me when I was young, that would be the last major mistake. Because of a relapse in my memory, bringing it all back to me during that age. Ruined the best thing in my life. Literally.
And it was his brother's account.
Yeah, no, that wasn't it. But
It was.
if that would have been the case, that'd have been closer to 2016.
Ah, so far off.
But that was after I lost everything and just went completely all just to myself and in a dark hole. And no one knew I existed. James Locke Holmes. Yes.
Irony is, I'm a good detective.
That's why
Wouldn't find you so much.
Wait, 2008 was a dark age for a lot of people. It was. To be fair, even the person, once again, I'm not going to use any real names in this. I am going to use the names of the characters to protect their identities. I'll use my real name. I don't care. It's me. But as far as so for the person I'm referencing, Janera, the Red Queen, that's what she'll be referenced as my past. Same thing with some other friends I have from my past. They'll be referenced as character names just to protect their identity for this whole little thing. But even technically my problem and the thing that caused the dark ages of my life, I technically can't use their name either, even though I would love to. But legally, they cannot do that because I
The pussies anyways.
because I ran away from the situation. Legally, I couldn't. Since I'm going to speak about something, I legally can't say that person because I never. Well, how should I put this? I never came forward. That's the best way I'll put it. We'll get to, like I said, we'll get to all that. So I legally cannot say anything now other than my own experience. That is it. That is all I can say. So, but as you can see, I'm a lot more calm around it now because now I've learned to fight it and to kind of make it a part of me now. It now actually sits kind of in the corner, almost like I sit back and look at it at all times and use it as a reminder to just finish what I started. And so, but let's continue on. So, Little Oddnot. The tale of Little Oddnot.
Because he was smaller than he was.
To be fair, yes. It'd be hard to tell, but yes. You thought I was short now, or you could probably. This is a joke, but to be fair,
You can give
realistically,
birth to him.
back
That's how small
then,
he was.
if you had some of the purses that ladies had now, you could fit me in it. I'd be
So we could
pocket.
legally.
I
So
would
what you're saying
legally
is.
be able to be pocket sized.
So we could legally kidnap you, is what we're saying, and no one
I mean, to be
notices.
fair, if it was like a Lady Dimitrescu lady, or hell, even the lady herself, the Red Queen, if she had a purse like that and I still fit in there, I'm like, all right, here, I'll just sit in here. Pocket hard now. Yes, exactly. It's like, I'll be like one of those little dogs. Oh man, it's so terrible, but I love making jokes like that. I really, wait, what I missed that. I was really short too, but now I'm tall as heck. We all grow. I don't. I
You
stayed
just
short.
grow. You just grow in other
I will
places,
repent.
Alpha.
Yeah, I'll repent. I don't want to be too inappropriate with the chat tonight, but we're not trying to be too Slanesh, but other parts of me made up for it. So if Wesker came and out you in a bag, if he's gonna give me Ouroboros, we might have a deal. Because then I won't matter that I'm like this. One, I'll have the strength to literally jump across buildings like this. That'd be weird to look at, by the way. And every now and then I can hit you with tentacle stuff out of my shoulders. And go full Japanese demon. Oh man, God, y'all give me too many ideas, chat. See, Farseer, gotta stop doing this.
I've just decided to play Warframe now.
What? A war to war to James, get on DVD. You need to practice your dang survivor skills. Spider knot. Yes, it really would be. No, ooh. I might actually do that and freak people out. Might use my Ouroboros to breed spider legs. I become the thing I feared most. I'd also probably grow a Xenotail. I'm not even gonna lie. I'd be Wesker's version of what that Resident Evil 4 thing was, basically. Oh no, my phone is dying. Oh no! That's alright. This will get posted up if anyone gets to miss it, but we'll continue. Let's continue on with the story at least a little bit. So everyone gets to hear part of it. But basically, Art9 would be the small, annoying boss. Why did it not post that? Boss who will be cheesing you the whole time. Yes. Oh no, it did post that. Who will be cheesed? Who will be cheesed to die 90% of the time? Probably. Looks like I can't watch the stream right now. That's fine, Boba. If you want to come back for later, so we'll be doing this for a while. This story might be a long one anyway, so you might end up coming back during, if I had to guess, depending on how long phones charge these days, if you end up making it back, you'll probably make it back during part of the Dark Age. Depends on how fast they get past the good parts. What's up?
It's here.
Good.
We can now ride horses with Warframe.
You see my face on stream, right?
No.
Alright. Be back. Bye. Bye, Boba. You have a good one. See you when you get back. But I'll delay for just a second with the fact that James just blew my mind with that statement. What? Do what? So you can ninja jump. So what is the Warframe? You hurt me sometimes. Sometimes I love they're adding all this stuff, but I'm like, no one is ever gonna use these except for the wow factor. You can ninja jump everywhere. Also, Darius just shot himself and the U.S. players in the foot. Good. I'm gonna rub my feet together like that cockroach from Family Guy.
So basically, Warframe added the Doobie Paradox. Finally, yeah.
Good. Man, let me know when we can ride a dragon. Also, you can join back up if you want, Tam King, if you're able to join back up. If you want to join in the chat and so you don't have to keep typing. It's up to you. I know they can't hear you're excited to chat. But it's up to you if you'd rather do that instead.
I will let you know, Tam King, but I do have a character that is a dragon.
He trained a noob KA-50 in heli PvE. Oh no. Well, goodbye, all American choppers. Your target is now Darius. Remember this.
Hold on. Darius said to me that he won't get the KA-50 because he's not evil, and I don't believe him. I was right.
We're all part chaos lords here. There's no way none of us can say that statement. None of us.
I can.
No, not even you, James.
Yes, I can.
That's it. So all U.S. players, this is an alert message to all War Thunder players. Your target is now Darius. Eagle 1. Fox 2. I had to do that. Darius, did you get that from Independence Day, by the way? Is your name that because you watched Independence Day a long time ago? And you see yourself as that farmer guy who sacrificed himself to kill all the aliens?
Are you that guy that did fuck all in a movie?
Damn, sorry. Oh, man.
But yeah, now I'm back on War Thunder. I have an itch after I needed it cleansed.
To be fair, good wording, by the way. Did you mean to say it like that to pull mine in there too? Or was that your Zeech magic working its way in again? No, sometimes I don't think you realize how ironic you really are. So you have an itch that needs to be cleansed, and I have that same problem with a game that actually has cleansing in it.
Yes, but here's the thing though, Ardot. We both need to play the different games. You need to play IE more War Thunder and more Warframe. I need to play more Dead by Dead. Yes, Warframe. Yes, Warframe.
I'm not playing Warframe. I'll play War Thunder because I like War Thunder still, but I'm just not. I'm too far behind.
You'll be fine.
I'm too far behind. I'm just gonna wait on that game. Yeah, like Tam King said, when they add dragons, I'll jump back on.
But they do. They have a playable dragon.
No. Idiots in an Apache telling the U.S. biggest opposition how to fight. The irony in that. That's why I said I'll just give a public warning. Eagle 1 is the one you're after. No, I'm just kidding.
I'll just pick my tank Eagle 1 for some reason.
Wow, James is like, I will be the decoy.
It's like this is it's like we found our target, but we don't know which one to go after. What to say? We've got our actual Eagle 1, and then there's this guy that's painted Eagle 1.
And we're not sure which it is. That also shows how long this stream has been, chat. The fact that my PS5 is trying to keep shutting itself down twice now. It must be going for quite a while. Yep. Oh wow. But yeah, that is hilarious. Oh. Wait. Actually, you know what? To kind of delay for the story, for everyone to get to hear the whole thing a little bit. One other thing I want to touch on real quick. Well, I guess we'll talk about this a little bit.
As he kicks children.
Is I mean, I did that when I was young with dodgeballs, but but you know, I want to talk about future plans for this channel now, and the other channel. We're going to talk about it now as well. So, and it'll segue us back into my little Ardnot story, because it has to do with that, considering that's one of the things that got left behind. So, also top tier premium jets, 1 kill, and a base bomb, Dave, 22k. Woo! 22k RP. That's pretty nice. That is pretty nice, actually. But alright, so let's segue into this. So we'll start with this channel first, since everyone already knows about this channel. This is the main channel, so this channel is not going anywhere. Unless for some reason something happens one day. This channel is never going anywhere. If it's under my control at all times and then nothing ever changes too bad about it, this channel will always be here. That's the first thing I want to say, because there's a secondary channel coming in a year to 2 years time. I don't want people to get kind of spooked and go, "Oh no, does this mean he's quitting his other channel?" No, not at all. It just means that we're going to be doing 2 different things now. We're going to be following both of my passions. One is going to be always like it has been, which is playing games and enjoying games and playing with people, having people watch me play games. Which is also something from my childhood. I want to point out, I've always been a video game Let's Player, and I never realized it. So, does anyone remember they still do this somewhat, but not anymore to the same level. Does anyone remember back in the 90s when Walmart and all these other stores allowed you to play demos in the store on their own consoles? Does anyone remember that? They used to have literally a console set up where 2 controls connected to it, and you could sit there and play like a couple of demos on the system to preview if you want to buy the system. I used to play these while I was young in front of people. Like literally, I'd sit there, I'd just go there to play them because I couldn't stop making me feel old. It's alright, Farseer, we're both old. We're both from the same era. We're both old. We're both old. No, I'm just kidding. We're not that old. Not quite. We're almost there. Yeah, a couple stores still do that here. Yeah, ours don't. They do it somewhat, but the demos on it are like super tiny now. Like they don't give you nothing now. But back then, I used to go there. Like, let's say I didn't have a game or the new console yet. I would go there to play the new console and sit there and kind of try out the demos. Like, oh, this looks cool. Usually, and I kid you not, usually about 10 to 15 minutes in, sitting there for that long, playing the game, people with a store called Game, pretty sure it's American owned too. It probably is. Because that's from the old, we had that all the time here. That was a big thing here back then on how to advertise gaming. Plus gaming rentals were a big thing back then. Blockbuster. Blast from the past. And, which also where I lived, basically. But I would used to go and play the new consoles. And by about 15 minutes in, because I'd sit there while Mom would, get groceries, do her thing, and play games. People would see this no-armed random person with his feet playing these games in the middle of this door and get like, the heck am I looking at? And go to like, they'd start watching me play. You see what I mean? So this is back in the 90s before YouTube even existed. The irony in this, I wish I had known this was a thing and I'd had hindsight's 2020, right? I even missed out in 2012 because of the dark eras of my brain of being involved in YouTube when it was in its prime, when I should have been. If I had been doing this during 2012, I'd probably be up there with the big boys themselves. Like Jack, all of them. Because that's when they started. They started there when YouTube was a little bit better to work with and felt more like a proper platform as someone who's just trying to get themselves out there and share what they want to do or be this or whatever, bada boo boo, like it should be. But, I sadly missed that era. That's on me. But the irony in this is I always was a Let's Player in a way. People would sit there and start being astonished by this and watching me play games and watch me use my feet. And they'd sit there and watch me do all these demos and beat these demos and they'd freak out. They would not understand this whatsoever. And it's like, so, and I sometimes drew a crowd. Sometimes had at least 15 or more people. I'm not kidding. So the irony in this is, it was in my blood the whole time. So that being said, that also has to do with the futures of this channel. Is this channel, not only do I have the Halloween special coming up, we've got James and Darius' little battle I've got wrote down. That's my first real planned out event I want to try to do for us. Then the Halloween one. And I've got some Christmas ones in my mind. I'm trying to plan how to do them right now and what I want to do them with. I'm hoping to try to do a giveaway for that one. It'll be my first on the channel, but I'm not sure how to pull this off yet. I'm still trying to figure it out, because I've got to be able to do it for everyone. And I know there's a site that James, he'll have to show me it again. He told me what it is. There's a site that James gets codes for cards for people in different regions. You just have to pick the region and then give them the code.
And I've done to you.
So what I'll do is I'll use Discord to my advantage to do this, like most YouTubers do, is I'll get a code for someone as a gift, and we'll figure out some sort of competition or something fair. This is why I've got to plan it out over the next couple months, because I'm not sure how I want to do this yet. But I want to make it where I can give, for the first time ever can actually do a giveaway on the channel. So if people win it, they can get something out of it on the channel. And it'll promote the channel a little bit and things like that. I really am starting to try to get us some ground moving. So that's for this channel. The other thing is the secondary channel, which will be born in about 1 to 2 years' time. Let's see. Also, big question. In the city, is the roaches are smaller than a coin, but in the countryside, they're bigger than a finger. Yes, that's true. Roaches are much bigger in the country, but that's just because they get more nutrients, more food, more whatever. To be fair, I'm not an expert on roaches. You'd think I would be, because Xenos are kind of like a roach. But, at least in some fashions, biologically, but they just get more food and more access to stuff here. The only reason why the city ones don't grow to big size is they usually breed fast and die off quick. Where the ones here are like big. And then the palmetto bugs are even bigger, because a lot of people also confuse palmetto bugs for roaches. Roaches are smaller than palmetto bugs. Palmetto bugs are very big. I know, because that part I do know, because I'm very bug oriented in that fashion. Because I learned a lot about bugs when I was young. Because I used to be deathly afraid of spiders. Still somewhat. Not as bad as I used to be. A lot of that fear has gone away with my other fear that I broke from my childhood. So I do feel like they were kind of intrinsically linked, along with my fear of the xenomorph. As you can tell, I'm not afraid of that thing. I now have a borderline unusual, liking about it. Maybe whaling levels, somewhat. By the way, just found out if you get max survival rank before each reset, you get 1 million blood points. Ooh, it's max? Woo! So I was right, it's 1 million for the max. My killer's almost there. The survivor, I'm having a hard time because of the teams we're getting. I keep losing my points to get me ranked up. But but that being said, there is a new channel I'm planning for us. So within a year to year's time, or a year to 2 years time, starting towards the middle of this, towards the couple next month of this year to the end of this year is when I'm going to be able to truly begin it and fully focus on it in the background. I'm going to be reteaching myself programming. Then I'm going to jump it back up to my algorithmic programming and even at some point binary, but that'll be last. And then of course a lot and other stuff like that. I'm going to start with that along with mathematics on the side, and then throughout that year that I'm going to be training myself little by little to get all of my robotics engineering skills back that I used to train myself with. I used to learn so much on the side when I was still into this and still wanted to be this and still had the dream to believe that I could be this before I told myself I couldn't. So I'm going to be working back towards that. So in about, almost safely say 2 years at most, in about 2 years time, we will be starting a auxiliary channel that will be specifically focused on building things, checking out like show off spotlights of other builders and YouTubers who do a lot of stuff like that. Like I said earlier, Adam Savage and people like that, Hacksmith, and stuff that do anything type of engineering, building stuff. We may even show off other types of crafts like blacksmithing, stuff like that. I actually do really like blacksmithing, to be fair. You can kind of guess why with me being a knife collector and stuff. I like seeing them made as well because I do love the craft when it comes to making metal into something. So, which partially will be needed during certain things, but realistically, when I build those level of robots at some point in my life, most likely I'll be having someone else do the frameworking of when it comes to like bending the metal, welding, melting it down, doing the blacksmithing parts, and basically metal molding. But I won't be able, that I might not be able to do, at least at first. My thing's going to be mainly the programming and the engineering of the insides, basically. The thing that makes it work. But I'll slowly build up different things. But the channel is going to be covering stuff like that, and then me starting with little robots. We're also going to be building models on that channel too, probably to start off with, since I won't have the money to build actual small robots at the beginning and be able to buy motherboards and the things that I need, CPUs, because that's going to be kind of expensive, which is why it's being put off for about 2 years at most. So at the beginning of that channel's lifespan, it'll probably be mostly model building. If we do decide to go that route, that might actually start next year, but we'll see. Because I'm going to get back into building my Gundams, and those are like tiny little plastic versions of engineering projects. So it helps you kind of get your mind into that set of proportioning, using my feet again for tactile small movements and clipping things together. It'll also get my strength on snapping things, like I had a problem with my knife pressing things together. I need to teach I've got my legs worked out and my gripping is good, but my tactileness and the strength in my toes directly, I need a way to figure out how to strengthen those. So that way they're stronger doing those things. But that's going to be the major thing for that channel. And then I'll feed back into this one video game wise, and we'll have special events between the two. They'll link. I'll probably have like, especially when there's like robot video games that come out. Like if this channel already existed, there'd be a special event alongside Armored Core that we would do as an example that would be on the engineering channel that has to do with maybe building something like a small miniature replica of like one of the Armored Core robots or something like that. So it'd be something like that. But
can I just say, do you know who Steve Harwell is?
It sounds familiar. That sounds familiar. Why?
I'm going to tell you who he is. He's the lead singer in Smash Mouth.
That's why I know him. See, I couldn't remember who, but I knew that name sounded familiar.
You know he died this month, 4 days ago.
I did not know that.
He died of final stage liver failure.
That's sad.
Sad, and he was 56. I mean, that's a decent life.
I mean, that doesn't surprise me. A lot of rock stars die at 56, and it's because of the lifestyle they lived during their young years.
Yeah.
They partied hard. It was kind of part of the genre back then. It was kind of part of being a rock star. So it's sadly what kind of got Chester, but it's sadly in a worse way, along with many others. So many of them have died in different ways and passed away, whether it be sadly through something sadly failing in the body because of past things that just kind of made it that way, or sadly them doing their own, choice in. But came with the territory back then.
Yeah.
But so real quick before we go back into past me again, because that's a good way to segment back into it, is the robotics thing, because now we can kind of segment into the next part of Little Ardnot, which is still the happy part. We're not to the dark ages yet. We're gonna slowly get to that.
I want to be back into the depresso stage.
We'll be getting there, trust me. I don't know how many. There's a decent amount of good, happy little memories I've got for Little Ardnot for the beginning. Too many to share if we go to all of them for this to not turn into a 7 to 8 hour stream. So we're gonna curtail some of it for both sides, good and bad. But that way it keeps it contained but to the point. So back to Little Ardnot and his history now. So as you know, yeah, he was from when he wasn't kicking dodgeballs at people. He was living a happy little life, and for a little while things were going pretty well. This was elementary school. I want to point that out specifically. So this is very young Ardnot, like very very young, little Ardnot, the little knot. And he had a cool friend that he knew, had a best friend neighbor. Her name was Christina. That one I will use because that name is very common, and to be fair, there's like, I don't even know where even that person ever had been for years. Plus, there's a lot of people with that name compared to the Red Queen's name. Her name is actually pretty unique, especially the way it's spelled. So that's why we're not using hers. So, but her name was Christina, but she was just my next door neighbor. So she became like my earliest first best friend and somewhat crush. I'll even say that because that was way before the Red Queen. That was the first time like I kind of knew what a crush was. but and things like that, and I had a pretty cool little fun little happy little life. So the beginning, let's jump forward a little bit to another good moment. A few years later, towards the end of elementary school, things are still going well. We won't stop until elementary school's over. But I'm in late elementary school, like I forget whatever the highest grade back when it's fourth or fifth, before you start going to middle. So it's like fourth or fifth, and I'm starting to really get into my own. I'm starting to be a lot more confident. I'm in a lot of things. I'm a part of a lot of things. I have a decent amount of friends. Who knows whether they were necessarily, seeing now hindsight 2020, if all of them were truly good friends. I have a couple that stuck around. Like, big shout out real quick before I continue to my friend Kevin. He's okay with me saying him, so Shadow Scar from the Guardian Corps. He's been around since those era. So he's a true, besides James here, he is a true brother and friend to me. So he has been around through the worst of the worst and the best of the best. And so big shout out to him if he gets to see this. But is a lot of them, sadly, we went our separate ways. But I had a lot of friends. Things were going good. I even had this guy which is why I have a fond memory of my best food of being breakfast. Some of my favorite food in the world, besides chicken, that doesn't count though, I grew up on chicken, is breakfast. Like types of breakfast food, types of things like that. So, I think James's headset possibly died. I'm getting a lot of messages on PSN in the background. But,
Yes.
Oh no, I don't know what that is. Apparently, someone said
I just played 3 different games in an hour.
Nice.
I played War Thunder, Warframe, and now Dead by Daylight.
Finally, Dead by Daylight.
Just kidding. Who fucking thinks about that game?
But yeah, basically, that's why I like breakfast. Like breakfast is one of my favorite, even though I don't eat it as much now. It's one of my favorite styles of meals because I grew up in a Waffle House, basically, and it was because my dad. I grew up in an only child for one. My dad was terrible. He is let's just say, we're not going to go to him because he's not really that important. He's more of a demon for my mother than he is me. But let's just say I do not like him and he's not a part of my life and never was. So I had someone who was kind of like a father figure to me to begin with. And he helped me out and he used to take me to the Waffle House, all this and all that, and all these cool other places and stuff and things like that. And there's this Waffle House that was down from my house in Lawrenceville, Georgia, where I lived. And that's where I basically spent majority of my 4th, 5th grade just eating in that Waffle House most of the time, just enjoying the food. Texas bacon cheesesteak melt with hash browns. Back then it was just scattered, smothered, and covered, and chunked with such ham. So that's cheese, ham, and well done, and all that. Now I add gravy and all kinds of stuff, but I used to eat that all the time, and it basically it kept me kind of stable for the longest, and then until we got to one major change in my life is where it really began. And the small thing that really started this before the major incidents was Gwinnett County, aka Lawrenceville, Georgia specifically, went through a change that it started to have some serious problems, school system wise. I'm not going to say too much, but basically, gist of it, where they started having
They were
lots.
beating children and they were raping.
I mean, that's not far off. But, anyways, we'll get to that. But Lawrenceville, Georgia started having a serious problem in the school systems. And it was mainly in higher tiers, which ironically I was about to go into, is it started to spread around, and I had heard about it, but I never really took mind to it because, well, I mean, usually you hear that kind of stuff in the news and stuff all the time, to be fair. Let me check what this notification is, too, real quick, that keeps going off, because if it's...
Probably some little kid just added you to group chat.
That's what I'm thinking it is, and I need to mute that notification, because I hate when that happens. I don't
See,
want that going
even
off
when
in the
adult kicks children, talk about children, you can't escape them. That sounds really bad. I wish I worded that differently.
You did, yeah, somewhat I do too. No.
I like you, Dot. I'm not gonna call you out on anything. I'm not gonna demonetize your channel because I actually do like you.
Turn notifications off.
We're not gonna call you
Welcome to the stream.
Welcome to the stream where Adolf talks about beating
But
kids,
okay,
can't escape
but
kids.
seriously, back to the actual proper discussion about
back
this.
to children.
But back to my actual proper path and discussion. So I started, I didn't pay much mind to it because even in today's time, you hear a lot of stuff in the news, and bad stuff tends to happen. To be fair, in general, it's just sadly the world sometimes as is. That being said, the other issue it was like a cascade of events. So let's begin with the small stuff first. So during the beginning of this, so I finally graduate elementary school. We hit the middle school era. And when during this era, multiple things started happening. One, IRL in general, we started having some hard times. Things started changing in certain ways, and we were having troubles in other ways. And like I said, there was already starting to brew trouble in the background before the major incident even happened. And this was like my mother, like, she did her best to try to stand up for me with my disability rights and things back then that were being ignored pretty hard in this county because it became a major thing. And things started to kind of build up, and then that at the school a little bit, and then in IRL, we also happened to start kind of having like some troubles at home with like certain like finances and just keeping things going basically. I don't want to, I don't want it to become too much of a sad story, so I'm not going to go too detailed into it, but basically, this is when it began the true era of barely being able to afford certain things. This is also when I got Front Mission 3, because during the thing I told you about as a joke, because we were on rough times, so I was kind of finding my own ways to try to still at least somewhat enjoy certain things, but not also break us as well. Time went on, things got sadly worse, and they now, at some point, Mom started having troubles with her job. Once again, I can't use any names or things like that going on. Started having troubles there, and then they started giving me troubles at the school. The irony is, before I get to this story, and let's get to this next part, when you hear these stories I'm about to say, or when someone talks about this, usually it's someone, either it's someone you somewhat know, sadly, or it's a complete stranger to someone that has nothing to do with any circumstance whatsoever to anything you're in. It's just they happen to catch you at the wrong time. Mine sadly wasn't that case. And I can't peg this down for sure that this is why this happened, but it had crossed my mind because, short story short, the school was known, and so was the system, for basically, mostly mental, before I say this, basically mentally taking advantage and exploiting, and abusing a lot of handicapped children. And I ended up being a joke to that. So, and what I mean by that is you'll see in a minute. But it's the Boba jump scare. Yo, Boba, you came back I told you you'd make it back during this time. You made it back during the beginning of the Dark Knot. Beginning of the Dark Knot. No. But the school system was notorious for sadly mentally exploiting and taking advantage of a lot of handicapped children. And sadly, most parents usually gave in to that fight. And usually allowed it to happen to keep, maybe it was to keep worse from happening. I actually don't know. Because from what I went through, I'm almost wondering if they have threatened that before, back in the day. But it just ended up happening to me. But, so let's continue forward. So, during these times where things started to get, where I started to have barely anything to work with, like I said, we had to basically scrounge from place to place and had to do a hard time. And Mom at this time was my school bus driver as well. She would transport me back and forth from school. She wasn't my nurse at this time or anything. This was long before that was even a thing. This was long before I really even had a nurse. Before that was even provided for most handicapped people at their homes. So, which is like the little live-in assistant thing. But my mom was very defensive of my rights, as one should be. It's one of the few things and traits that sadly is kind of, I will say, we're not going to get into this, but somewhat of a missing thing today. Where a lot of people don't want to stand up because of fear of what might happen to someone in my situation, or what might happen to you, or what might happen to someone you know, or whatever. It's a lot of that. But basically, they started like on purposely getting me in trouble, trying to ruin my record during the middle school, like not allowing me to talk during lunch, which there was a thing called silent lunch back then, if you were in trouble, which is not a big deal, by the way, on its own. I'm not against that. I'm just, what are you talking about right now? I had to do something. Well, let me catch you up, Boba. We're at the point where I went from when I was in elementary school, little art not, when I was doing good in my life, into when the bad stuff that made me kind of make mistakes in my life and what gave me my rage in my heart later on and things like that. We're talking about the stuff that made me kind of almost use the right word, the real word for this, and not hide from it, that broke me. That literally broke me. But, so, essentially what they did, this is the small stuff in the beginning. What they like to do is they basically would cut you in trouble on purpose. That's my Celeste trying to lighten up the mood. Because he hates the darkness at this point. So basically, they would basically give me silent lunches. Now, in normal circumstances, to a normal kid, silent lunch is not that bad. All it is you're not allowed to talk to your friends during lunch and sit with them. But they took it to a step that should not be taken to any human. And because I'm disabled, this puts me in an unusual situation of I cannot do anything about this, can I? I have no arms. I can't feed myself. Someone has to feed me for me. I'm not even going to lie. I don't have a technology to do that yet. I would have if I had stuck with the course. But basically my silent lunch version was, hey, you're not even allowed to tell me what you want to eat. You will get what I tell you, and you will eat what I tell you. And if you utter any words, you will not eat. See what I mean? That's the beginning of it. And then that cascaded into basically not being able to function at all, think at all, talk at all, speak at all. Until one day, now let's get to the worst part of this story. That's not the worst. Think about that's happening every day. I want to point out, let me set the mood real quick. That is happening every day now. That is happening pretty much my entire middle school career now, before I ended up leaving that school and getting taken away because of a unlucky but lucky fact that my grandmother started to pass away. And it's like, so the only thing that saved me was literally that, which we'll get to that. It was like a cascade of cascades. It was ridiculous. It started with that. I basically couldn't do that every day. I couldn't be me. I wasn't allowed to literally exist. And then something unusual happened. And I'm going to start slow with this because I don't want to freak too many people out. We're not going to go into no gory details either, because I know no one wants to hear that. And no offense, no one should ever have to explain what I'm about to talk about in detail anyways. So, and if no one believes that when someone says something like this, no offense, it's just too bad to that person. Because I do have a friend, not no one I know now. I threw that friend out a long time ago. I do have a friend who doesn't believe that this happened to me. And he's not friends with me anymore. But basically, I'm not allowed to be even a person at all during school every day of my life. And then one day, for some reason, the vice principal of my school starts being allowed to learn how to take care of my bathroom duties. So, teaching him how to do certain things, how to change me, how to do these things, how to other things. And I thought that was kind of odd to begin with, not gonna lie, even as young me. Y'all know me, my instincts are pretty spot on. Even now that I have them back, I've noticed a lot of things from my childhood that I picked up on that I wish I had paid attention to, but hindsight's 2020. So that devolved into something far, 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 far more terrible. Now, once again, I'm not going to go into gory details. but I'll basically put it straight to the point as a little bit of a PA message for this stream. Also, why I'm not worried about being demonetized, because a lot of these words would demonetize me anyways, along with that knife. And I'll use the word one time, since YouTube's so touchy about this stuff, even though this is the kind of stuff that needs to be talked about, because this stuff does still happen, and I have no way of saying it don't still. So, my only my only justification with this, going back on that trip I went recently, back to Georgia, is that person is no longer involved, from what I can tell, in the school system whatsoever. So they were either caught, or someone else found out. Let's just put it that way. Georgia, at least one thing I can say about the South, if someone does get found out about something like that, they don't tend to last very long. That is a good thing about the South. So, don't know what happened there, but either way, that's past is past. But essentially, it devolved into literal and actual rape. I basically became, the better part of the word, someone else's Slanesh Damon. Which is why I actually the irony, now we're going to get into something a little bit, ironic, and you're going to learn something about me. This is, now that I faced all my demons of my past, this is part of the reason why I'm also a Slanesh Warhammer character. It is to, in a way, keep that demon at my door and let me be able to visually see it for myself, so it does not weaken me. It does not put me back where I was. It doesn't take my power away again. It doesn't take away my dreams again. It don't do any of that again, which is what I've done with it now. I now use it to make me stronger. Right now, I can even feeling it tugging at me a little bit, but that's natural. I expected to do that, and I'm kind of glad it does that, because it shows me that I know what it is, and that where it serves its place in my heart. But that being said, moving on from the incident itself, cascading into the next thing, the thing that got me out of that scenario, because I was too terrified and broken to tell anybody, back then, is my grandmother started to pass away, and many other things started to happen. So we ended up having to leave Georgia, move to South Carolina, took care of my grandmother, even though I'm not going to use names, but my aunt ended up being, my family's not the greatest to begin with, other than my mom and two of my uncles, for sure. They're pretty awesome, and I love them to death. I don't get to talk to them or talk to them really much, sadly, anymore, but that's on me, really, to be fair. But that being said, it's like they're really the only good ones in the family, but we tried our best. We went down there. Mom didn't even know any of this happened, by the way. I didn't tell my mother any of this or what happened to me until years later, because I was so broken that I collapsed inward so hard that the only thing exists, and the irony in this is why I will never let this channel go, is the thing that saved my life was video games. That is, I'm not joking, and I don't care how crazy that sounds to people. Final Fantasy VII saved my life. Do y'all ever want to know why 7 is always there? Why Tifa's also the top of the top for me? Is because those characters, all of them, even the ones that sadly passed in that game, that made me sad in that game saved my life, because it allowed my brain to bury myself in a world so deeply, at least at that time. Maybe it wasn't the healthiest thing if you think about it in the world. But for a kid, that's probably the only survival thing you've got at that point. It's either that or the alternative, which I wouldn't have come back from. Which I would admit almost tried one time. That was a long time ago, though. But that being said, 7, literally, I love Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy will never, not be in my heart, which is why I love 16 so much right now, because the irony, 16 is doing the same thing for me right now, but not saving my life, but it's going hand in hand with my rebuilding process finishing. I'm now remembering who I am, just like Clive. I am Ifrit. And it's like, and those different things and the coincidences that are going on in that game with Sid and Benedicta, and my past with Red Queen, and it's like fate's just funny that way sometimes. Off topic, I think I looked up Italian Morbius playing at what did they say, at the Italian Senate. I want to see this.
Boba Fett, while you're on topic of distracting, look up mounted chicken.
That sounds terrible. I almost wonder if that sounds either very Zeechy, or my eyes are gonna be ruined in a Slanesh way when I look this up.
No, I'm telling you now, it's a normal creature that exists.
It's a normal creature.
A normal creature. It's no Zeechiness, no Slaneshness. It's a normal creature.
Oh. And when I looked it up, it just came up with 30 seconds of a Tifa video. Be careful with those videos. They could be very out there.
I keep clicking on the wrong ones.
That played in the Italian Senate. I wonder if there's a guy named Tifa. Is there a person named Tifa now in real life?
I hope he has big tits.
No, but that was good. That's a good way to lighten it up too. That was a good one. I do like that. But that being said, that's why I love Final Fantasy. I don't know. Maybe there is. Maybe there's a meme for it now because there's a real life senator named Tifa from Italy. But that being said, it's like that's why I love Final Fantasy. Final Fantasy has somehow been a part of my life from the very beginning of the Dark Ages to all the way to like now. And it's always been at the perfect times too. And maybe it's just something I am almost instinctually kind of wrapped myself around it mentally in a way. Probably I could see that subconsciously.
You said wrap yourself around.
I mean, it makes sense. but it's like, and then that's why it got me away from all that. And then now let's get to the medium level part. This is actually the most important part of the stream for me. Is this
so
next
remember,
part.
everyone, pay attention.
Yeah, we all
got your homework later today.
Yeah, we all got that escapism. Yeah, well, and that's true, and it's a good thing if it's in the right time. I will say escapism can be bad for the mind if you use it too much, but it's good if it's gonna save someone's life. I'm all for it, at least for that moment, not permanently, but if it's gonna help them, anything to help someone at that moment, if it'll keep them from going over that edge, basically. But let's get to the less dark part, but still somewhat sad because it's going to talk about the most important part of this stream, which is the final segment no one has heard ever from me. Because we're gonna now go into the era of the Red Queen. So
I'll just say right now, I have heard. I don't think I've heard all of it, but I've heard most of it.
Well, we're gonna start from the beginning, from what took me away from the incident to South Carolina, where my grandmother was passing, back to Georgia. That's how this started. So that's also to set up the timeline, to show you that's not a lot of time for my brain to actually deal with that demon, right? So it's going to be what's going to come rearing its ugly head back later and ruining literally everything again. This time worse. But, so, I went to South Carolina to help take care of to help be there for my mom while she helps take care of my grandmother and deals with my terrible aunt. But, at the time, and what she was going on up there, we did as much as we could, and then eventually my grandmother passed away. We moved back to Georgia, but to a different town. We did not move back to Gwinnett County. Mom still does not know. My mother still would not know what happened to me until we made it to North Carolina, which is where I'm at now, which means years later. But so we moved back to Georgia into a sleepy little town called Winder, Georgia, of Barrow County. This is where I began. So two things I did. I went to I went back to middle school, a different one, a better one, but it was in Barrow County, called Creekland Middle School. And I got back on the train. Here's the irony. I did succeed at my escapism. Here's where the bad thing that comes from escapism is you're about to see the example of. If you do it too hard, your mind will force the incident into your subconscious and you will forget it to protect your conscious from being damaged and from your psyche from being damaged so bad that you won't go into like a shock, basically. So I did this so hard that I basically blotted out what had happened to me in Gwinnett County in my middle school. So in Barrow County, I'm back in Creekland Middle. I have at least somewhat already blocked it out now and don't really remember anything about that. Almost like forgetting a terrible accident in a car. Like, because you know when you have a car accident but you survive, sometimes you don't remember it all. It's that shock factor. Your brain's keeping you from remembering it so it doesn't screw with your head. But I did this to myself using that tactic. So I'm somewhat okay, but not fully. Like, I'm not the kid that I was when I was in Gwinnett, like that happy-go-lucky, full, woohoo, yeah! Like I am now, and laughing as much as I am now again, but I was still positive enough, and I went through Creekland. I started getting back towards my robotics a little bit. I even learned some robotics in Creekland Middle, and did a little science fair thing once I went towards the high school, which is Appalachia. Appalachia High School. So let's skip to Appalachia because this is where the Creekland wasn't really much of anything. That's where I met my friend Kevin, by the way. My besides James, my other brother, who's my actual true friend, like James and Tam King, and is and of course Darius and Farsi. I know y'all know me long enough at this point on the channel. Basically, you're one of my best friends. So it's almost like I've known y'all all the whole time. So, but basically, let's skip to Appalachia because Creekland, all it was just me kind of being me, somewhat me, and actually succeeding and doing pretty well in middle school. So I graduated middle school and ended up in Appalachia High School. Everything's going good. I moved from one house that I lived in, Winder, to a different place. There was a lot better and it was a lot nicer place I could live in. Well, it was also cheaper, to be fair, compared to what they were charging us for the other house we were in. It was more of a duplex house. And this is where my major friendship in life really began, to be fair, if I had to really say where my life began, but at the same time, where I also made my biggest screw up of all time, happened in the same place. So, it was like a little duplex place, apartment place, so, in Appalachia. So, I get the first semester of Appalachia, I get put in with my friend Kevin. We're in the same classes. We're going to classes together during the first year. Halfway through that year, a new person gets transferred from another school district to this school district to our class by the name of Genera. And you all know her as the Red Queen. As from what I remember, and that part's a little vague because this is the very beginning of my Appalachia years. So we ended up in the same class all pretty much. No, me and her were in the same class, and me and Kevin were in a different same class. So I was always in the class that saw him before lunch, and then she was in the class after lunch that I would see her. And I would have different lunches between them because our classes were never always fully on par with each other. We were all somewhat separated in that fashion. So I ended up spending for the better. I actually don't remember how long it was before the major change between us. I want to say at least the rest of that year for sure, probably before anything changed. I know it was somewhere in the middle of that next year. It was the next semester. because we had spent the whole semester in that same class together, and then we ended up in the major class that was our major, like, because they always have a major, like, core disability class, or disability classes that the disabled, like, go to during the beginning hours of the morning or the afternoons, to kind of regroup, get everything together, finish up work if you need to do it or whatever, shoot the breeze and talk with your other friends that you have in that class. So we ended up hanging out constantly. She ended up even coming over for a lot, and then she even ended up learning how to help take care of me medically. And then eventually, even though I should have done this myself, and I'll be honest about this, and my friend Shadow Scar, aka Kevin, didn't even remember this part. I do. I remember everything about that time. I really do. It's almost like it's like my brain photographed it just for me to remember how terrible I messed up. And it's like, so I remember I started to really, like, I'll admit I started to fall for her, and I really started to fall in love with her, and I told my friend Kevin about it, and he had someone he had messed up with during that time where he had wished he had approached them himself and regretted never saying anything to them, and they ended up with someone else. So he didn't want me to take that risk, and he didn't tell me he was going to do this. He didn't. He kind of got me off guard with it a little bit, but luckily it turned out really positive. But apparently, because they share lunch in between our classes, he went to her during lunch and told her about how I felt. And I did not know this. And I didn't know that apparently that was the same thing was happening on the other side. That she also felt that way too. So when she saw me in afternoon class after lunch, let's just say that was the first time I realized things had changed. So because she sat next to me, and I can't remember the exact words. We were basically talking, and I even said it, and I was gonna say it right then and there. I was like, there's something I actually do want to talk to you about. And she kind of looked over and kind of went, I already know. And she said, and don't worry. And in her own ways, basically saying, I liked you too. It's like the feeling's mutual. And I can't. I don't remember the exact thing in my brain that happened, but I know that my brain went, what? And I'm like, because I'm not used to that. Being disabled. I'm not exactly, even when I'm confident and being as suave as I can be as a finesse, being disabled has its natural disadvantages to most people. When they look at me, they kind of go, oh, he's sadly, they don't mean any harm by it necessarily, at least not on purpose. It doesn't mean it doesn't hurt sometimes, but it's not on purpose, and I know this. I don't blame anybody for this, but it does tend to be an issue where people kind of look at you a certain way and don't, and go, hey, and he's kind of disabled. I don't know if I really want to be with him. He might not be able to do this, and I have to do this. And some things they're correct on, but other things isn't. Depending on the disabled person is a judgment by physical looks. I don't want to be nasty, but basically I'll put it like this. As an adult, now, most of the judgment I know that comes from, at least except for the taking care of me part, that part's sadly somewhat accurate. But there are certain other things that are like, oh, he's probably no, or can't do this, and I'm like, I'm like, if only you knew. And it's like I said, it's like Art is the greatest woman director ever from what this story tells me. Well, I did have the advantage that both of us kind of grew up in similar situations. She didn't have the same disability I have, but she was partially disabled herself. She had cerebral palsy. I think that's the right way to pronounce it. It's a muscle kind of disorder thing. My friend Kevin has it too. So and it's a part of it's actually a pretty common disability. Somewhat, it's one of the more ones you see more often physically, and a lot of people. Mine is a little bit more rare because mine's completely genetic based. So, two people have to have this one specific gene, and then boom, you got me. And it's like, but that being said, it's like we basically, and after that, I want to say this seriously. I don't know how, I can't remember how many years it was. I know it was a couple. It was at least 2 to 3 years, I'm going to say minimum, that we spent together all the time. She came over all the time. She was always helping look after me and do different things. We just, I'm gonna put it better. I'm gonna put it this way too. Well, not only for myself to hear this out loud, again, as always, but for everyone else to know how awesome it really was, and that this is also why that trip had to happen that I went on recently for my vacation, to at least try. But I basically had someone that was basically going to spend the rest of their life with me. She was ready to basically be there for all of eternity. And so was I until something happened. And see, that relationship lasted longer than the average one for that year of school. It did. Even other people were like, geez, you two. It was like, we really, really did care for each other. It was, if I had to equate anything to that, now I know what, because you know how they say, as a kid, you don't really know then. And you truly don't, to be fair. Even when you've experienced it like I have, sometimes you don't realize it, even then. Is the hindsight being 2020 on what love really feels like versus what people sometimes think it is, or get lost in the sentiment that it's all physical or all this or all that or whatever. It's not. It's something completely, literally different. It's something that literally will, no matter what, the only way that I can explain it is in a joking, almost DVD term. Is it's something to the point of you have this instinct where you always know that person is in the locker next to you. It's a good DVD way to put it to lighten the mood, but that's literally what it feels like in a joking, like kind of easy way to explain it. You will always know that person. That person is almost intrinsically tied to you. So, but things went well for quite a while. And then, because of some things like, this is going to be a little show on my Slanesh side just a little bit, but there got to a point where we had been together that I like to talk. You know, chat. I mean, I'm a YouTuber. I like to talk. James knows.
Yeah,
So,
sometimes you talk too much.
Exactly. So I know, trust me, she thought that sometimes too. And I don't blame her, because I did. But there were times during a movie where sometimes I'd like get a little excited and try to say something. She'd get mad and be like, pinch the top of my foot, like, be quiet.
See,
Using
I
her.
just stick duct tape over your mouth.
Well, no, she was. She was basically, that was her corn way of going. Stop. And it's like, but a mother being a mother, my mother kind of this freaked her out a little bit when this started happening. And mom like sat me down, just being what any mother should do with a daughter or a son, because you never know. She would have never done anything to me. Trust me, I know.
What
But
she said was, get that pussy tonight.
no, that's not what she said. But no, seriously though, like any mother should look out for their children. Is she basically warned me of? She was a little concerned that might develop into something worse and didn't want me to be abused. So you can see where this is going. This is not my mother's fault, by the way, of any sort. This is still my own
Still.
choice that broke me, and I made the wrong decision. At the end of the day, I am to blame for losing the person I loved of my life. Literally. But, that being said, what happened was she basically sat me down that night after she went home, kind of discussing with me, just be careful. She's like, I'm not going to butt in on, I'm not going to tell you what to do, and all this. But just be aware that can lead to different abuse. And she talked with me and she talked with me about the different kinds of abuse and stuff.
Ooh, a spider.
But here's the thing, right? So, me having a repressed memory, let's swing back full circle. I had a repressed memory. I escapismed to the back of my brain. I didn't know it was there. I threw it in the trash. So that way I didn't have to deal with it. That night, I started contemplating, started thinking about, could she have done this? Could she do some bad things to me? And lo and behold, because my brain thought I was trying to, which it makes sense because it means that's me facing something. That's called good contemplation and inner, what they call it?
Well,
there's a psychological term for breaking down one's inner thoughts when you're trying to like decompartmentalize. There it is. So it's decompartmentalizing, which is something anyone should do. But what I didn't know is because decompartmentalizing is also the technique you use to bring up repressed memories. Ooh, so I was sitting there that night in my bed thinking about it, and then all of a sudden, almost like a dream, almost like having a waking nightmare of a dream, my brain opened a door and went, "Oh, you're trying to face this now? Let's go!" And then went bam, 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 bam. Hit me with every single memory I had forgotten of him and everything he did to me. And it wasn't him. That's all I can tell you. But it was like having it happen all over again, but not physically. Mentally, it was. It shattered me. It sent me completely into the darkness once more instead of me fighting it. And the sad part about it is, there was one thought that sprang in my head, and if I had followed it, today would be different. You'd probably be seeing me here with her today. She'd probably be in this stream with me today. like sitting in the camera. One sec.
oh yeah, that'd be interesting. If I were to meet your future.
Sorry, one sec.
Just gonna say one thing while you have a break.
Yeah, you talk for a second because that one touched the chord a little bit.
So, all what you say is she'd lose her mind with me because you could deal with my bullshit. I don't think she could.
Oh God, he's in here. I'm out of here.
I think.
Oh God, it's that Zeech person again.
I think in the nicest way possible, she wouldn't be around because I'm not a good person. It's just the fact that I would do so much shit to break her mind. It would come down to I'm gonna lose my mind if I play with him.
No, here's what she gets so mad at you, she'd be cheering me on in DVD while I stab you.
She probably would, and you know what? And you know, me being me, I like a good challenge. So we heard cheering on, go, yeah, stab it, would just make me more competitive just to win.
Yeah.
Also, ignore the fact that I know how to dodge a tail swipe with a xenomorph.
I doubt it. Let me be the Xeno and we'll put that to test.
That's alright. I've been slowly learning to it. I want to bear in mind, I haven't been near any pallets when this has happened.
I mean, some of them are bad aim, I have noticed. But now that we've taken a quick little break, I had to let that one go through. That one touched the nerve. I knew it would, because that's why I'm doing this part last, because this part is a little closer to home than the original trauma, because this now bothers me more than the trauma does. The trauma's like, I'm past that, who cares, it happened. Blah, 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 done. But what it cost me hurts me more now than that does. But, okay, but back to where I left off. If that one thought that crossed my mind was, I need to talk to her about this. Because if I talk to her about this, she can help me get through this. Because I knew she could. Instinctually, my brain told me, because of our connection together, it told me, and I should have listened. Once again, hindsight being me now, I trust my instinct 1000% now. Because I realized even as little me, my instinct always knew. It was always right. Even before the trauma, I sensed when they started setting up for something like that, that something bad was coming. I knew it was coming. I could feel it. I didn't know what it was, but I knew it. And the same thing with that feeling I should have trusted my gut and went, you need to talk to her. But instead, I let my consciousness win. It beat me down the whole night. It said, you are worthless. You are nothing. You will not amount to be strong enough to be by her side. You are wasting her time. Every worst thing I could think of about myself, you're disgusting. You're, So, next day, I made the worst decision out of 2 to 3 years of a relationship. Made the worst decision of my life. And I ended it. I broke up with her, and I didn't tell her why. I gave her the dumbest, worst, and probably, if I'm being honest, the most, this is going to be a little bit demonetization word, chat, pussy, that I could have ever been in response. And just the standard, look, I'm just not ready for this right now, da-da-da, bullshit, 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 bullshit. That's what I call it now, because when I hear myself say it, I want to go back as me now and use that bloody knife on myself.
Nah, what you need is a nice big hammer. Don't worry, like, Thor will beat his son. If anyone could beat Loki,
so, but that all jokes aside though, but it's like, that's all it really was. It was just excuses of me, my brain, just ripping me to shreds like Doomslayer levels and ignoring my heart completely. And I shouldn't have. And to this day, I wish I had. Because I'll admit, to this day, other than one kind of relationship I had in college, who cheated on me, sadly, I haven't really had a real relationship. I have not experienced that feeling that I've had with her in years. In literally 15 years. Around 2000, like I said, when James said, around 2008. It ended around when I was 18, 19. So it ended in 2008. That's why I made that joke. When everyone said the 2008 era earlier, when the 2008 era was the dark ages for a lot of people, like Farseer mentioned. It was. And I come later to find out, sadly, which made it even worse. This is also when later on I realized the mistake I made. And this is when I truly realized what I had become. Is when I talked to my friend Kevin years later. He had gotten to run into her one time and he talked to her for a little bit. Oh, that's fine. You didn't miss much. I talked about the Red Queen and about me relapsing and how I ended up breaking up with her, sadly, and I had a little bit of an emotional moment right there. And how I ended up messing things up. But I ended up truly realizing that I truly messed up when I talked to my friend Kevin a couple years later, and I had already moved away from Georgia. I was in North Carolina by this point. And he said he had run into her. And he said that he didn't mean to do anything. He was just curious because he hadn't talked to me. He actually hadn't talked to me either up until even before he had run into her. So he'd run into her before he had ever got in contact with me again. So when we had talked for the first time, he had told me, yeah, I ran into Janera. Once again, I'm not going to use her real name. If she was watching this, she would know who she is. I just want to say that. This is also kind of, even though this is a 1 million and a 1 in a million chance, but this is also kind of my own way of, because I never got to tell her this, because I never got to run into her with my trip I took down to Georgia. This is also my way, if she ever finds my YouTube channel for who knows whatever reason. I doubt she'd watch video game Let's Plays at this point. Never know, though. She would know who this is. She would know who this is a reference to and that it's referencing to her. Which is why we're not going to use real names. But he said he ran into her, and he had mentioned me. Because he didn't know we had fully been separated for that long. And that I had basically vanished. He thought it's something that happened and that maybe me and her had went somewhere and just decided to start maybe a life or something. But that wasn't the case. So when he mentioned me and tried to talk about me, remember, I want to point out, this is years later. She apparently broke down really bad and kind of like had to leave talking to him. And he said she was basically like, she looked like she could barely get out of there crying. And that almost killed me that day, all over again. But in a good way, because it made me finally realize what I had become. And so, because of what my choices and my dark past and things like that. I'm glad I caught this stream. I got stuff to do, so I don't know how long I'll be. So see ya if I don't catch the rest. No, you good. We're getting towards the end of the main stuff. The rest is going to be supplementary and talking about what we'll be doing this week. But I'm glad that for anyone who can make this, that you got to see this. Because this is the full past of me, Little Ardnot, leading up till now. The rest is just going to be pretty simple because the rest is just me leading up to YouTube and what you know now. So.
And how he discovered that there was something worse than his own mind.
Yeah,
Someone who messes with theirs. Yes.
but yeah.
And I just went, oh really? You can mess your mind up. I can do that for you. Just give me 1 second.
Yeah,
I think
true.
I've, in a weird, in a so serious note, I think in a nice way, meeting me, I think you've become stronger as a person.
I mean, to be fair, most likely, and I don't disagree with that.
Because when I met you, I'm gonna be honest with you, Anna, when I met you, you were in that weird state of you were trying to fix
okay,
yourself,
that's fine,
but
Boba.
you were in that weird state of you were trying to get better, but something was holding you back.
I mean,
It was in that weird state. Save me, James. Legion's just more into old Bill. Fuck that
Poor
old
Bill,
guy.
that's
He
violent.
deserves it.
Poor Bill. He's died very violently.
Well, he would if he was. Do you know he's in the best of situations? Yet, what does he do when he's injured? Screams the loudest. Oh, look at me! I'm an old wheelchair veteran. I've just got my shot my life. What do I do? Ah!
But
I
yeah,
think that's what I thought when I first met you. Someone was holding you back from becoming better.
and to be fair, the irony is, it all, I mean, not began, but I do think the final Acrux, you did, at least inadvertently, have a part of doing this, just because of your influence on certain things that I've been doing lately and learned from myself. And it also helped me get the confidence to do that trip. Which brings me to that part of the stream, is talking about the trip. This is pretty simple, because y'all now know all of the backstory. That trip's whole purpose was to do 2 different things. One, thank gosh the first part kind of didn't pan out, because I'm not quite sure how I was going to handle that, to be fair. So, didn't know if it was going to be a good end or a Rocket Raccoon situation. Let's put it that way. But the first hand situation was I went down to Georgia for that trip. Hope my headset's dying, so we do actually need to start getting there. I went down there for that trip in order to kind of regain certain things with my psyche, and to find out if the person who hurt me was still around and kind of still involved in certain school systems and stuff. Luckily, that was not the case. So I'm glad that didn't happen, but it gave me at least some peace of mind to know the chances of that being still a thing today is very unlikely. And that them still doing that, and I have no way of confirming that this isn't still happening in the system. But as far as everything else, Oh, hold on, I think she went by. Hey, if you're nearby, come plug my headset in, please. But yeah, I don't have no way of confirming that, but at least it gave me some peace of mind that way. And then the other part of the trip, ooh, that wasn't good.
What?
I don't know where that was, but
What?
sounded like either a gunshot or it wasn't lightning. There is lightning out there, but that wasn't lightning.
See, Thor knows.
But yeah, the other part was to see if I could find the Red Queen herself, Janera, the one I was talking about just now, to see if I could have a chance to tell her what I told you guys in chat just now, in my own way to kind of get it off my chest, which is why I did this today. Is this was also for me, but also giving a permanent way that if for some reason I get popular one day or something, maybe that person happens to see it, but you never know.
Nah.
But then and that's what that whole trip was to kind of help balance certain things out, get things going, just get myself moving again. But that's why I'm now who I am now with the stream. Which is why, if you'll notice, streams have been a little bit better lately since I've been back from my trip. I've been taking my time with certain things now and also planning a little bit better on certain other things. That's why this Darius versus James thing is happening with our special little event and things like that. So, I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That's fireworks. That's not a gun. If it was a gun, there'd be more than one back to back like that for that kind of notice. Somebody's firing off fireworks in a thunderstorm. Okay? You know what? Applaud to them. Oh, okay. I just thought nonsense was in chat. Nonsense. Wait, what you talking about? You talking about Tam King or talking about what we were talking about? I don't know if you missed, but I don't know if you missed any of that, but that's fine. But like I said, this was more for me to kind of get things rolling again, get myself back to being me again, and truly being the Ardnot I want to be. Yeah, Tam and James's war happens in the background. It's constantly going.
What's going on?
I'm convinced Tam King is somewhat Nurgle and is going to end up having the plague one day, and that's going to be his best character, and he's going to kill James with it.
Better not. I'm gonna make something worse than the night. Right. See, I'm doing the night for fun. If I really, this is the reason why I don't. Being all serious in me the game is just boring. Well done, I've killed something.
Well done.
Well done. It's legit just well done. You went try hard. Well done. Congratulations. Now what?
It's like, what do we do
Hence
now?
why I don't be serious. So that's why I do take a lot of things jokingly, because being serious is kind of boring. And there'll be times when I need to. There's times when I need to, but most of the time it's just so fun. Just don't be serious.
Exactly. Fallen style battle, exactly.
If you think it's funny to kick a child, do it.
Gotcha.
The more children we have on this planet, the better.
I think Cheech just says that just because he lost. He's got salt in his wound. He's just mad that that's his
No, I don't like salt in wounds. Thank you very much. The taste awful.
But
if anyone else loves irony in that is, I've just realised why you like salt, and I've just the most disgusting thought I've ever came across. And in the Slanesh way as well. I'm gonna let you think about that.
God. So those fireworks have got to be nearby. That's a neighbor. Making me nervous. That made my hair stand up.
I'm gonna say right now, if in Dead by Daylight, Tauki would have a better chance. War Thunder, he wouldn't.
I mean, probably.
Unless he's given nearly $1 million, and also if he gets my vehicles and I have to kill him with like, I have to say by France. So they're at 5 per hour. I reckon they could kill it.
Probably.
Because I do have. Ooh, it reminds me. I'm not far. I'm gonna buy my 5.3 destroyer. Because it has a 90. My SA50 has a 35.
Unless his neighbor is Oppenheimer, then James should be concerned.
It's just make sure that the person next to it is Barbie.
I'm back. Sorry I took so long. You're okay, Prez. We're probably gonna wrap it up here soon. But yeah, I think that's pretty much. I'm trying to think of what else I wanted to talk about. I think I actually hit the whole list, from what I can tell, what I have written down. So. Oh, I guess at this point now it's up to you, chat. before my headset. Actually, let me go get my headset plugged in so we don't have to rush this. I want y'all to think if you have any questions for me, or if you want to talk about something you haven't got to talk to me about, or want me to elaborate on something a little more in detail, certain things anyways, then definitely hit me with it. Like, definitely let me know what you want to talk about.
If you can't think of questions to ask Ardor, but me, you're more welcome to ask me any questions through Ardor's chat. Likewise. Because I know we have similar viewers.
I gotta get my phone. That way I don't, before I open this door.
Just throw your phone at your nurse and go, hey, fucking plug it in, bitch.
Well, I think the wind shut my door, or maybe she shut it, I'm not sure.
She actually turns out she's the coolest man through your door. Oh yeah!
So I need to
Whoa!
grab my phone
Also,
so I can see what
Ardot, you haven't shown that Kool-Aid clip.
Oh, right. I don't have it cut down into a short yet. I have to do it on Share Factory. I mean, if y'all want to see an early preview, let me know in chat. I have a short that I'm going to be putting up of Dead by Daylight of a match me and James did. Was the most hilarious jump scare I have ever experienced in my life. Sadly, you won't hear me scream like a crazy little girl, because that was probably the most highest pitched scream I've ever done in a long time, just because of how much
Trust me, I bet girls that could scream. That was a bit. He was sus with that scream.
It's like, that was the, like I said, it freaked me out so bad.
Just imagine like a little girl screaming, similar to that.
It was like a cartoon version of that scream. It literally was.
It really was. It was kind of weird. Also, then at that point, though, as soon as you screamed, my brain just went out into Vietnam flashbacks. I'm like, why am I doing that?
I just find it funny how it happened. If y'all want to see a preview of that, tell me in chat. I'll be right back.
Yeah, just make your decisions. Yeah, Ned Flanders scream. Yes, pretty much is what happened.
Well, I'm coming back, chat. I gotta shut the door.
Can't said Ned Flanders.
It was. It basically was. That's basically what happened.
Oh, I don't have depression on that. My gunner does have depresso. I don't see any tanks. I will never stop playing War Thunder.
Obviously, let's see.
Oh, whoops.
Are not washing machine revealed. Well, wait, that's a sink. Actually, no, that was an oven.
I've just killed an XM1 Ardot. How does you feel about that?
No, it says wind or the tiles on the ground. James Thunder. Yep, the James Thunder.
I can't sing that song. Thunder.
Yeah, sadly the VP claim. I don't know if they want to claim this video after today. We've been going 3 hours. Nice, about what I figured. But yeah, it's but do y'all? How do y'all want to? Do y'all have any Q&A that you want to give me or James, or do you want to see that special clip that James just referenced of us getting Kool-Aid banned?
I'm in the bathroom.
No, really don't have any questions. Okay.
You don't ask it about how our friendship happened. You know, you don't give a fuck about us. I understand.
I mean, I'm pretty sure they were here for that, James. Anyone goes back far enough on my stream, I bet you through YouTube, so technically your whole thing has been categorized by you videos.
Yeah, it was weird that the video game I was you might. Here's the thing though. Between me and Arda, we can't remember which game it might have been. But I know Verse Video, but I saw it was on World of Warships.
Yeah, I know.
But I feel like I've met you in a game before, and I can't remember which game it was.
I'm pretty sure it was either AZP, or you saw me in Crossout once before. Because you remember you keep forgetting who was the reason why we met. It was because of someone else who's no longer here.
Yeah, and I think I might have met you once in Crossout, and I might have destroyed you. I was, like I said, being Crossout, I was just on something else at that point. I thought, oh, Crossout. So the interesting history of me Crossout is I didn't start with PS4.
It was your DVD. It was your Dead by Daylight.
PC.
It was definitely your Dead by Daylight, like me in Dead by Daylight now. Because I'm like that in Dead by Daylight now.
I was like that.
I'm even starting to scare myself.
I was ridiculous.
I did say something earlier, but I don't think it was a question. Yeah, you don't. Oh, I see the thing about the Discord. You can join the Discord whenever you feel like it, Bo. But it's no rush. You don't have to do it right away if you just if you don't want to be on a Discord. Some people don't like Discord, so it's fine. About how I was gonna join the Discord and possibly voice chat someday. I mean, that's cool if you want. Yeah, it's up to you. Like I said, I know how Discord's a weird place, so I keep the community on Discord for people who want it. I have one on PlayStation as well, so that way, well, I used to have an official one.
And I have a Discord as well.
Communities, but I have one on Discord. I have one on PlayStation. The weird cord, yeah, it can be. It can be. It depends on which Discord.
I have a Discord where you can allow to post memes. The best, and I always say the more offensive, the better. That missile?
Well, no, it's probably me sniffing. My nose is stopped.
What have I told you about sniffing drugs?
I'm not the one doing glue. Jim's over here.
Cannot confirm or deny that statement. There's something amazing about just that sniff.
Comfortable in my chair, chat. But yeah.
It's comfortable up my nose.
Oh, the Kool-Aid thing. Let's show off the Kool-Aid thing. Well, I'm going to have to take my face away for a second because I've got to add the clip in here to show it. Actually, I need to delete these in order for this to work. Is that a missile? He's probably in War Thunder. He's always... right? Is that a missile? Blows up. Yep. He's probably playing War Thunder, as always. He needs to be practicing DBD, but he's not.
I did for a bit, then I got bored.
No, that is not enough.
I did it for like about half an hour. Let's see, I felt
like that is not enough.
Suck a dick.
That is not enough.
That is not enough dick to suck. Props to you, Swiss.
Never enough. No, it's good. Alright, let's play. Actually, you know what? Oh no, it's a 15-minute. See, if I had already had this prepped as a short, I would have put it at the end of our stream and we could use it as an outro. But because that's not a thing, I'm just going to add it right here. So, add a clip. Y'all get to see my editing process a little bit. It should be this one, right? Yeah, Fang. And then add clip. There's Tam King dying. Don't mind that. That made it into the beginning, so we'll just let that happen. Wait, this is 15 minutes. I've got to fast forward through it. Hold on. I got to find it. Not that match. Not that match. Not that match. I got to find the match where it was the Dredge. Oh, here we go. Alright, we're gonna watch this whole thing, chat. This is the funniest gameplay I've had in a while.
Did you record? I'd forget. Did you record the last bit? How I survived? Oh, how I won?
No, sadly, it didn't show that. It didn't catch that because it only does last 15 minutes. And because I died before you, I didn't get it. I'm just plug headset in and give me some Pepsi, please. Just watch this, chat. That was them. That was Tam King and James being dumb right there. They were just following me in all the rooms. I'm like, I'm trying to be stealthy. See, there's James walking down the hallway with me.
There's a reason why I just like to, show
you. I actually do like that Share Factory lets me do this, because now I can commentate my own video.
Here's the thing I want to ask. What's the point of locking lockers with the dredge?
Because it delays him from getting out of the locker. If you don't lock it, he's going to come out of that thing instantly and he will not have time to get away. I accidentally got in that one.
Yeah.
Oh no, I did that on purpose. Because I had spotted him physically. Watch. I was actually pretty stealthy for most of this game until the very end. And then that's when the funny stuff started happening. So that's what we're going against.
That from random was that Tam King?
Now I'm gonna create a shorter version of this that's just the jump scare when it happens. You'll know when it happens. So I'm going over here, I'm like, generator. Good. James gets in that locker, I lock the other one, James gets back in. I'm like, get out of there, James.
Yeah, okay, but
and then I proceed to hide next to the tiniest school desk, but luckily thing is pretty small.
She's pretty small, but she makes a lot of noise.
It's only when she's wounded, or other things. So I'm like, alright, I'm done being, I'm like, oh crap, nightfall's coming, so I'm out. I'm now booking it, because I'm like, okay, we need to get outside and try to get this guy off the hook. He throws before I get there, if I remember correctly. Then King gets grabbed. So as you can see, I kind of got lost and turned around, realized I went the wrong way, and I went the long way to get outside. Now this is going to be kind of hard to see because nightfall is terrible at night in this game. When it comes to this map with the dredge, there it goes. So you see how hard it is to see, chat. That's why I hate the dredge. I couldn't even tell there was a door there at first. I was like, oh my god. I can barely see 10 feet in front of me. Watch what the dredge does to me right here. This is the first jump scare, but not the main one. It's not the funniest one. So I'm sitting here. It's all quiet. Yes, and I have my glasses on. You'll see it, because the dredge glows. Just note the glowing red thing in the dark, working on a generator. And you
That's your deja vu.
Wait till she turns my camera. Wait till I turn my camera. Boom! I cannot tell you how loud I screamed right there, chat. That was the first one. Then he got me. That was the first time. He was sitting there staring at me, too. He didn't hit me at first. He was sitting there watching me do that. Takes me outside, puts me on the hook. I'm like, crap, that just happened.
You see me running in the background because no one else would be running.
Then Jake saves me, or whoever. No, that's Ash.
No, I got chased.
That's the other Ash.
Yeah, but I was being chased at this point.
And this is where James is being chased. James is being chased. He's gonna get put on the hook. He's being carried. No. Tam King's being put on the hook. James is about to be chased into this room. Ready, chat? So me and Ash are sitting here healing in front of this door. Remember this. If you had a very loud mic, that scream would be as loud as hell. Oh, it would have been. Just watch.
It should have been like crunch.
Watch this. So here comes James. They start healing me.
Yeah, I really keep
They're
saying
gonna get me healed. They're gonna get me healed. You'll notice nightfall's happening again. Now I'm gonna start healing James. You're gonna see.
What happens when I hear when you hear me?
Alright, watch the door, chat. You notice that Ash left? Wait for it. Boom! He did it to me again. He came through that door like Kool-Aid Man in a courtroom.
I yell like, oh fuck.
I screamed again, and James was like, oh fuck. I had to give him that one because that was the best. Most hilarious. I'm laughing right now while he's carrying me because I'm like, did that just happen?
Yeah, I about got out there.
It's funny, Ash must have seen him, or must have had some sort of intel perk that he could watch him coming around the corner. Because you notice Ash left before that happened. Sadly, this is where we all died. He got us. This was a team wipe from what I remember.
No, it wasn't.
Oh no, James got out. He got the hatch.
Yeah, because I escaped. Because he was going to put me on a close-up, but he didn't. I wiggled out and I was running down the hallway and you heard the hatch.
Yep. Oh, right. So I'll show y'all how I got James out. This was the luckiest chase James had at the end. Especially how bad this match ended up going. And how good this dredge actually was.
Yeah,
Ooh.
I was the only one without... Notice who was the only one without the hook.
That's because he never... other than that one time when he Kool-Aided us, he never found you. And then he tunnel visioned me after he chased us down the hall, So, note to self, and to everyone who plays DVD, never heal in front of a breakable door anymore, ever. Especially not against the dredge.
Because you spectated.
Alright, so now we're watching James.
At this point, I'm trying to find the hatch.
Oh no, it ended! It didn't do it! I forgot, it cut it off.
Basically,
so
if you want to know what
happened...
happened... Go on.
But, so, what happened... Let me delete this clip. From this. So that way it's not taking up all that space. What basically happened, chat? James, from that room you just saw where it ended. He ran out, around towards the gate, got seen by the dredge, ran through the room on the left.
Well, I did the most G stun ever.
Yeah, ran through the room on the left, got a really good pallet stun, like a very good one. Ran back out into the hallway, back the direction towards that room. I heard through the breakable wall that the dredge could break like he did earlier. I heard the sound for the hatch. So I'm yelling to James, even though you wouldn't be able to hear that, even if it did capture it. James, to your right, go to that door straight ahead of you on the right, now. And then he did, and I'm like, right again, through the window. And then in the room that had the breakable wall that the dredge has to open to get into, the hatch was in there. So luckily that's why he didn't see it first, and James managed to get there through me hearing it through my headset, because my headset's overpowered. I have a really good headset when it comes
what happened was he caught
surround.
me in his thing. I wiggled free because I thought I was going to put on the closest hook, but he didn't. But he did it because I wiggled out and I just ran down that corridor, which I think he missed out because I did get wiggled and I did wiggle free of his grasp.
Oh, that's right, because he had no hooks left. Yeah, he did get you partially, but because he ran out of hooks. Because he used all the ones on that side of the school, on the bottom floor. He used me to kill on one, and the other two, and Tam King and the other guy on the others. I see Dank Pod certified good. James did increase. Let's see. James did increase that DVD. We did. That was a good one. Like I said, that was a good moment. I do wish Share Factory saved chat. I don't know why it doesn't. I need to see if there's a setting that when I save a video clip that it's not allowing chat to be heard. Because that's kind of strange. Because I don't mind that. Since I am a streamer, it's kind of strange not to. But decibels equals dB, I think. Oh, yeah, decibels. Decibels would be a sound. Yeah, that's a sound equivalent, like how loud something is. If it's gonna bust your eardrums, I would say my decibels probably would. I'm pretty sure they were high. I'm pretty sure I hit a really high. I don't think I've screamed that high pitched in many years. That's why I had to save it, because it was the funniest moment I've ever had in PvP, even though I sadly didn't get to hear my part of it. But my neck itches. But that is pretty good. Sadly, I don't have it. I'm going to put it up as a short. It's not been cut down yet. I'm going to do that tonight or in the morning, and then post it on YouTube through Share Factory. I've reached probably 90 dB before. That's without it being turned down and me modifying the game. That's pretty high. I can go. I don't want to do it in chat because it's the way the mic works, but I can. It's sadly some of the reasons why I got made fun of in school a little bit. I can reach high notes. You probably shouldn't be able to sometimes as a guy. I'm an alto, as they would call, or whatever that high pitch singing voice would be. Which sucks because I like metal. I'd rather have a metal voice. But I am training my voice to get deeper and more raspier a little bit. I'm not going to do it right now because I can't summon it on cue yet. But if I'm not focusing, it actually happens more, as you can tell. And so, oh, you did modify the game. Well, that's pretty good. That's still pretty good. I don't remember how. I'd have to have one of those. I don't have a decibel reader, so I'd have to actually see how high my highest pitch squeal can get. You could probably actually get me for one of the scream actors for like horror movies. They will definitely think someone's dying. OBS has one, but I don't know if you can use that. I actually don't know if. Actually, yeah, it does have one. I'd have to put it on an actual scale, because I don't think I've actually looked at the scale on OBS to see what I'm getting up to. I know loud-wise, I can get it to redline on my OBS when it comes to decibels, but I don't know the exact amount. Like, if I, even with not screaming high pitch, if I talk really loud or yell really loud, it's gonna guarantee red. And that's without me trying it at all when it comes to yelling. Like, I can be naturally loud. Yeah, you can get it to the invisible line. Ah. Yeah, I have, like I said, I can put out some volume. That's why I turn things down, certain things. Unless the game is really loud, that's also why sometimes I'll turn it up. Because some games just woof with the sound in your face. You just can't hear nothing, not even your own brain. Which is
I
like
hear my
beyond
brain
red,
and I want it to shut up.
Yeah, that is beyond red, exactly. True, exact. But, alright, well, I do think it is about that time. It is 8:35. We went for about 3 to 4 hours as I anticipated. If it weren't already 8, I actually do think we could have done Armored Core, but I'm gonna save it for tomorrow. I want to do it fresh, and we'll do it at the same time the vlog was today, which is usually 5, 6 p.m. at latest Eastern time for me. So whatever that is for you guys out there. So we will be doing Armored Core tomorrow, and then it'll go back to swapping back and forth between Dead by Daylight and single player, and then up Sunday. Well, this is up to Darius and James. I'm not gonna set it in stone just in case, but Sunday most likely might be. We're gonna say might be our Battle of the Idiots, where James and Darius fight each other in the weirdest way possible.
I mean, I'm down for that.
I mean, if he's ready, if both of you are ready for it, we can do it Sunday. That's fine. Let's see.
I'm ready
Boba
for
said,
it.
"All right, see you in the other stream if I catch it. It'll be tomorrow, so you don't have to worry about that, Boba. But if you don't
It'll be
catch it,
tomorrow for Art it'll be Sunday for me because I have work today
yeah.
and tomorrow.
But if you don't catch it, though, Boba, that's fine. It'll always be posted up on the channel just in case you don't make it or anyone else don't make it out there. Also, GG to you, Tam King. We're about to get back on Dead by Daylight if you want to jump in. So, and I'm gonna keep practicing what I always practice, and get my Jeff Johannesson up now. But also, I want to give a big shout out to my moderator Farseer. I think she might have fallen asleep halfway through because it was getting kind of late. So I hope you get to see the rest of this stream, Farseer, and I hope you enjoyed watching it. Same thing for you, Darius. Hope you enjoyed watching, and I can't wait to do our challenge with you versus James. Far asleep, exactly, far asleep. But I hope you enjoyed watching the stream as well, Darius, and I hope you are able. If you're not able to do the challenge Sunday, we'll set it up for later on down the road for another day off when James has it and when you're able to be there as well. Sure, Bill needs some blood points. He's never not going to be Bill anymore. He's like, I'm just Bill. Oh, that's all. That's awesome though. But all right then. I hope y'all enjoyed. Big shout out to everyone as always, and this is the only time I'll say it for this stream since it's special. If by any chance, if the Red Queen happens to see this, I hope you're doing well out there, and I wish you the best. And thank you, seriously. You meant more than you think. And if I had a DeLorean, trust me, I'd fix it. But
You don't need a DeLorean. All you need is a blue box.
But that's too dangerous. That can cause other problems. We've seen that. But anyways, I hope you all.
No, there's no problems
I
with
hope you
that.
all have an awesome one. And thank you for joining up. And I will see you all for Armored Core tomorrow. Bye, everyone. Have a good night or good morning, wherever you may be. And I will see you all in the next one. Bye, everyone. Bye.